Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Downtime podcast. My name is Anxious Ben,
Yeah, and I'm simply Cohen.
and today we are going to be doing the summer showcases Abridged. So, we spent all of our time watching hours and hours of these announcements, so you don't have to. The way this episode is going to work is we are going to run through the Sony State of Play, the Summer Games Fest, and the Xbox Showcase all in one, give you our opinions, and also save you a bit of time.
A lot of time.
A lot of time. A very large amount of time. So, we will get straight into it with the Sony State of Play
Ooh.
Abridged for May 2024. So, the Sony State of Play started with a CG trailer for Concord. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only one who said the immediate thing that comes to mind when I see this is Guardians of the Galaxy. However, it didn't look terrible. It didn't look bad. It just looked
Yeah, but it's just
very.
a thing is it started off as you mentioned with the CGI rubbish trailer where it's look how pretty our CGI team is
Yeah.
and how fun the game can be, but when they actually show the gameplay, I couldn't have been more bored.
Yeah, it was nothing like it. So following the CG trailer, we then got I think it was pretty much like a 10-minute deep dive into
Yeah.
the game and what it was. And it doesn't appear that I'm the only one. It seems like the reception online was very much mixed, to put it mildly. It was pretty
Yeah.
negative.
Yeah.
Everybody basically just said this looks very generic, and I have to agree. It is a 5v5 multiplayer shooter, very much akin to your Overwatches and your Valorants and things like that. If you've played one of them and you haven't seen the gameplay of Concord, imagine them and you have the game just with different characters in a different setting. I think predominantly for me, the thing I found, I'll be interested to hear what you think about this, bud, but
Yeah.
predominantly for me, it just felt so cookie cutter. Nothing about it screamed
Yeah.
originality.
It
Even the
felt
setting
safe, didn't it?
was,
Like
yeah, the setting was derivative of Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's not even like you can look
yeah.
at it and go, oh, cool.
But
Like,
I even feel like it's not. It's almost taking the bare bones of what Guardians of the Galaxy is.
yeah, like the
Like,
archetypes of it, really, isn't it?
yeah, it's so. But like, you just look at the main characters that you play as, and you can clearly see there's Star Lord, Groot, Drax.
Yeah.
They're all there. But it doesn't even have the colourful charm of Guardians of the Galaxy. Like they just look
No, and
generic.
I think what's even worse is like you look at something like we'll get onto it with the Xbox One, but they announced something called Fragpunk, which is effectively it's a similar concept, 5v5 hero
Very
shooter.
similar.
You have cards which your team can vote on, which drastically affect the game. That to me appears more appealing
Oh, it's mad
than
that you just add a cool mechanic to a game, and it just changes your outlook on it. Like
yeah. Oh,
it's totally different. It's totally like
yeah,
literally the exact same game where it is your Valorant, it is your Overwatch, it
yeah.
is cool characters fight against the same characters, different team. But what was it called?
Fragpunk.
Fragpunk. What that game does is it's like let's add this cool card mechanic game that gives you benefits and the what's the word I'm looking for? The sort of gives you buffs and debuffs. That's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Of either your character and their team to their team as your changes it, and it just looks even better. It's got that
Yeah. It's
Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse look.
1,000%. I mean, the art style, art style is obviously subjective. You might look at Concord and be like, "Oh my god, I love this." Other notable things with Concord, it was announced to have an August 23rd release date. It's being priced at the same tier as Helldivers. Now, my personal thing is, I think Sony saw the success of Helldivers and went, "Yeah, let's try that." I know these were in development at the same time, but I have to imagine that there was something that steered it that way. When the success, it's like, oh, we're going to price Concord similarly. The only difference is Helldivers is very much like I think comes from a beloved. It comes from a team that obviously loved the project but didn't expect
Mm,
the success, and so it comes across
100%.
as
Yeah.
authentic. This comes across as like, look at Overwatch and Valorant, and let's make a hero shooter.
Yeah,
So
their thing is, I'm all for putting the price down. I'm sure no one's going to say different,
yeah,
but this game screams to me it should be free, and then
yeah,
things within it that are pricey.
yeah,
I feel like you shouldn't pay for a game to then pay for more shit later on.
Yeah, it's a very like, yeah, I know what you mean. I can totally see it. For those of you wondering, when I say Helldiver pricing, it's priced at $34.99 UK dollars,
UK dollars.
UK dollars, pounds. So £35. I
About
personally won't be
$40
playing it.
$40,
Yeah,
$45.
something like that. Yeah, around that. And so I personally won't be playing it. If you're interested, there is a beta that is going on in July. Now, if I get chance, I will drop in on the beta and I'm sure we'll talk about it on here, our impressions, what we think of it. But personally, for me, it's not something I'm going to go out of my way to play. What about you?
No, no. I've written down here not getting it. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's just no, it's not a thing for me. I think I say that there are games that are very similar to this that I think I'm willing to get, but it's one of those games that I think your friend will be like, let's play this game together, it'll be really cool. You play it for about 2 days and then you just never touch it again.
yeah. You drop off real quick.
Yeah.
Nice one. So next up, we have God of War Ragnarok coming to the PC in September. I played it on PlayStation, really enjoyed it. It's an incredible game. If you haven't played it and you're on PC,
Like
I
me.
imagine this announcement. Yeah, exactly. I imagine this announcement is
Super
really
excited.
cool.
I knew it'd happen. It's bound to. Like they're Sony are or PlayStation are doing that slowly, releasing mainstream game on their own console, waiting a few months, then releasing it on PC. I'm fine with that. I just think it could be a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I know there was a whole controversy with, I don't know who it was from PlayStation, but effectively somebody came out and was like, the marketing tactic is we release, it's not a great one. We release the first iteration of a game on PC to get people to love it, and then we only release a second one on console to drive up console sales.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's scummy. I mean, I remember when PlayStation 5, Christ, came out. It was that whole scalpers. You can't get it. I'm kind of glad I didn't get it because it would just be another thing that's sitting on the side. And yeah, it's just I don't feel like I'd be playing it as much. Be God of War and Spider-Man. That's it. And now Ghost of Tsushima's out on PC, which I love, by the way. I completed it the other day. Oh my god.
love it.
Oh my god. No, that's not on PC. What's the point?
Yeah, no, that is fair. So moving on, we have Dynasty Warriors Origins, which was announced and is coming out next year. Personally, never massively played the Dynasty Warriors games, but always loved that kind of style. It's hack and slash, but I know there's an actual name for the style where it's like massive battles.
It's like 1 versus 1,000 or something like that, isn't it? It's like
yeah, there's a specific name, and I cannot think of. I swear it begins with an H. But either way, I love these type of games visually. I've just never personally got into them, but I'm not opposed to trying them. I do want to jump into the Dynasty Warriors games at some point. What's interesting about this is obviously when you look at what it says, it's meant to be leveraging the power of the PS5 with, new warriors in the battle and massive armies. This seems really cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this. I'm cautiously optimistic. So it's out sometime next year.
I think again, one of you agree with me. Probably wait till it comes out, see what people say about it, and then probably get it myself. Like initial looking at it, I love the idea of you feeling like this unstoppable monster of a character, just mowing down people. Yeah, it looks fun. That's all I've really got to say about it. I don't feel like there's much else to it.
No, that's fair. We're probably not in the place to comment because neither of us, I don't think, have played
the Dynasty Warrior games. No.
So moving on, we have Infinity Nikki, which was announced. It's an open world RPG which is getting a beta in kind of Q3 2024 as coming from IGN.com. So yeah, I mean it's not it's not my type of game.
No.
I'm gonna be honest, but
I'm sure there's someone out there that loves this kind of thing. I mean, I can't deny the art style, the visuals are very impressive.
Awesome.
Visually looks cool. I'm sure it is tickling someone right now, but not for me.
Yeah, it's interesting that there's a former Zelda director attached to it, Kentaro Tominaga. I'm
Is
probably
there now?
butchering that. Yeah, so that's interesting.
I
It's
feel
an
like I can
interesting
see
thing.
that. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how this turns out. What type of game? Uh, yeah. Once again, I'm always open to trying new things. So if the beta is free, I'd probably give it a go. But like I say, it's definitely not a like day one. Let's,
No, no.
I'm fairly. I think the director, was the director of Breath of the Wild. If
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
correct,
Well, that potentially. I mean,
that's
oof, don't sway me over to Infinite Nikki.
yeah. Look at that. See what am I doing to you? So yeah, I'll definitely I'll check it out if the beta's there and have a look for reviews.
Yeah.
So moving on, we then had Where the Winds Meet, which is heading to PS5. Originally announced at Gamescom Opening Night Live 2023, which I completely forgot was a thing until Summer Games Fest and Jeff mentioning it. It's coming to PS5 too. Once again, seems cool. Don't know if it's necessarily my type of game, but there will be players out there who I'm sure are really into it. What are you thinking, bud?
Where the winds meet. I mean, again, I've written down here discounted because I think. Am I the only one that thinks that PlayStation is like they think they've found something with Ghost of Tsushima, and I think they're just rolling with that. I'm seeing
Yeah,
a lot of Eastern style games
I
in
think
Sony state of plays. Like I swear there was another one not so long. Is it Path of the Exile? That is very similar to that.
after the XR. Do you mean looking at Where the Winds Meet? I'd say it's more akin to Rise of the Ronin.
Rise of the Ronin. That's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, it's again. I feel like almost summing up all of PlayStation's one. Yeah, it looks cool.
yeah. I mean,
I'm not
it once
ecstatic about it though.
no. I mean, I think once again, it's. I don't think this is first party. I think this is published. Yes, it's coming to
Hmm.
PlayStation, Xbox, and stuff. So it's obviously a third party developer who has marketing rights with Sony. It makes sense. Like if they've found success within this Ghost of Tsushima style, that they would have marketing rights towards these type of games. I don't mind. It's not necessarily my go-to. I agree with you. I'll probably pick it up at a discount and see what it's like. See where the story heads to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next up we had Ballad of Antaria, which
Hmm.
is quoted as a high fidelity free to play action RPG releasing next year from once again IGN.com. Um, yeah, yeah. Once again, it's free, so we'll probably end up trying it. It's a brand
Yep.
new IP. Um, once again, I feel like the whole like to bring home the Sony state of play. It's a bunch of games where I kind of looked at it and I was like, "Huh, that's neat." There was
Yeah.
nothing for
Yeah.
me personally where I sat there and went,
I'm getting
"Oh
that.
wow,
That
okay,
is
yeah,
yeah.
I'll pick that up." Now that's definitely
No.
taste. Some people probably watch State of Play and were like, "Oh my goodness, this is everything for me." But
Oh yeah. I feel like all
personally,
the games that we'll be talking about on here now, like just because we don't like it or it's not our cup of tea.
yeah, so
There's someone out there.
every
It's gonna be their favorite game, and they can't wait for it. And I'm more power to you. But
yeah,
I just feel with all of State of Play's games, there's none that I'm going. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no, 1,000%. I
The
mean,
only one is probably what we'll talk about later, Marvel Rivals,
yeah,
and that was that. That's because it got announced ages ago.
yeah, no, 1,000%. I mean, it it like the Ballad of Antaria. It has a very Final Fantasy feel, right? So if you're into Final Fantasy, you'll probably enjoy it. The only thing that screams a bit yikes is free to play. It's probably because we have a lot of bad taste in our mouth. Won't judge it until it comes out.
Yeah.
We'll have a look. Um, Next up, we also saw Skydance's Behemoth trailer for
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation VR 2. Surprised they're doing that. In short, it looks really cool, but it's a shame it's on a platform which is so limited by price and hardware, right?
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Um,
And I feel like that's
yeah,
with all VR games at the moment. I mean, they're announcing these games exclusively on these. I get it; it's a marketing thing to get people to buy your console to play said game, but just stop.
yeah. I mean, for me, it's the thing of like, I, I think it's mainly just a case of you're really kind of limiting the reach of the audience that you can get. But once again, it's an exclusive. You know, it might come to other platforms. For me personally, I was like, that's cool. I won't play it because it's on PSVR 2, and I'm not spending £600. How much? What's the going price of PSVR 2?
Whatever
Let's
it
have
is,
a
it's
quick
too
nosy.
much.
£529,
Jesus Christ.
which is just ridiculous. Well, I could buy, I think one of the biggest Oculus Quest 3s for that much, like an all-in-one console. You have to like look at it in the sense that yeah, Oculus Quest 3, £459. Like it doesn't make financial sense in any way, shape, or form
No.
to buy.
Just for them to probably update it in probably 3 years' time
Yeah,
with the
yeah, mate.
PlayStation VR 3. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
and I know you
Well,
could probably
we
make the
say
argument of like, well, consoles do the same thing, but then you get such a vast amount of games to put on that console within that time period. Like,
yeah,
you get PlayStation, you probably get all the past PlayStation ones that will be compatible with it, and all that. So your wide of gameplay is massive on
yeah.
console, while PlayStation VR or any VR title really, it's so limited.
I think for me personally, it's just a case of I don't think I don't think we'll see a PSVR 3. I think PSVR 2 has been a critical failure. They're unable to move stock because they've outpriced themselves on an already niche peripheral, as it were. VR is
Mm.
not it's bigger, but it's not huge by any stretch of the imagination. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Behemoth come somewhere else. But moving on, we see then the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners developer. They announced a new VR game, which was Behemoth. Sorry, I've misquoted that. So that's
Cut
from
that out.
the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. That's my bad. So moving on, we actually have Alien Rogue Incursion. That's another VR one. It's cool. It's I like Alien. I like that franchise. So
Yeah,
I will check that out. I think that might be coming to other platforms too. So that'd be
I
cool. But
hope
once again,
so, because I think the Alien, seeing that as a trailer, it gave me massive Alien Isolation vibes,
well,
and
this is it.
love that game.
Did Alien Isolation get a VR mode?
Oh, you know what? I think it did.
Yeah.
Alien Isolation VR. There's a mod. There's a mod for it. So no, there's no official.
No official one,
No official
but
one.
it's yeah. All right. So checking here. Yeah, it's coming to MetaQuest 3, PSVR 2, and Steam VR. So I mean, once again, cool. They've obviously got the marketing rights to it, but nothing that I'm like, oh my god, I need a PSVR 2. Moving on though, we both are very excited for this. Marvel Rivals is coming to PS5 in closed beta, set for July.
Oh yeah.
I am hyped. I cannot wait. Marvel Rivals, for those of you who don't know what
Been
Marvel
living
Rivals
under a
is,
rock.
it is a PvP team-focused shooter, which is features all the Marvel superheroes. It's been described as Overwatch, but with Marvel.
Oh, you can't say
Seems re-
that.
I know.
Not
Literally, you
allowed.
can't. There
We
was an
can only
NDA thing.
talk positively about this game.
I know. I know.
Nothing
Oh dear,
negative.
that actually happened. But but yeah, I mean, it still has no release date. It seems really cool. I'm excited to play it. Definitely one to keep an eye on. I would
100%.
recommend.
And I think, yes, I know we talked about Concord looking bland and it being basically an Overwatch Valorant copy, but with Marvel Rivals, I think for me, yes, it is Overwatch. with Marvel characters chucked in. But it's one, it is Marvel. Just having them in any sort of game, I think, just boosts it up, and also it just looks visually stunning and quite smooth to play. I feel like maybe probably play it for a couple of months, then drop it, and then maybe come back to it at some point. Who knows? But it just looks fun. I feel like I can see myself and my mates and us playing that for a long time.
Excluded from that conversation.
No,
My
you're
main...
part of it. You're part of it. You're the highlight. You know, like how in movies where it's like, you know, starring so and so, starring,
that.
but with.
But yeah, I like that. That's a good way of doing it.
That's what it is.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's worth noting our biases. We're both huge comic nuts, right? We love anything to do with that. So naturally, Marvel Rivals is going to appeal to us more because if it's in our eyes playing kind of B-Tech Guardians of the Galaxy, or actually just playing Star-Lord in a shooter, we're gonna do or like team-based shooter thing. We're gonna do that. 100%. I do, however, think that Marvel Rivals at least has the destructive stages, has cool hero team ups. It seems to have a lot going for it. Yeah. I'm intrigued. I will reserve judgment until I've played it, but it looks cool.
Yeah. Cool. Completely can change our tone immediately as soon as we play it. But at the
hands
moment,
on sticks, and we're like, oh dear. But no. So moving on, we then had the Until Dawn remake. Yeah, a trailer and a full 2024 release window. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I did not feel we needed a remake of Until Dawn.
Nope. It's not just you. I totally agree. I think it's one of those when I saw the comparison between
it's not
new graphics and the old. It's not even 10 years old, and I genuinely can't see the difference.
Yeah, I mean, look, right? I enjoyed Until Dawn. I thought it was a cool game. Was I clamoring for a remake of Until Dawn? Absolutely not. But like I say, I'm sure there are going to be people who love it. It won't be one I pick up immediately because I do not see the point.
No.
Because it's basically just pretty, from what I can see, and I could be proven wrong and corrected, it appears to just be prettier graphics and animations. There's no new content to it. It's just,
not that I'm aware of. No,
it's just prettier graphics. And for a game that came out in 2015, save yourself £70 if it's priced at that.
And just get the old one.
Just get the old one. So moving on, we've got Path of Exiles 2, which is releasing in early access in late 2024. Never played Path of Exiles, have you?
Nope, never. Yeah, I think those sort of... I remember there was a craze. It reminds me very much of that... oh, God, it's that vampire Steam game. What is it? It's like V Rising or something like that.
Yes, yeah, I know what you mean.
That sort of top-down kind of strategy.
Yeah, like RPG.
RPG. I've got no care for them types of games. I never really got into them.
No, once again, not my type of thing, but I know Path of Exiles is really well regarded, just in general.
Is it now? Okay.
So I'm excited to see what it, what
it delivers, what it does
delivers.
Yeah.
It's got, the original's got an 86 on Metacritic. Not that is a be all and end all, but it seems to be like a very well regarded game, both by users and by critics. So yeah, I'm sure that's an exciting announcement for somebody. Maybe you listening, you're like, oh my god, Path of Exiles 2, let's go. Moving on, we then have, this is an interesting one, the Silent Hill 2 remake, which then release date of October 8th announced for PC and PS5. I think this looks dreadful.
Yep.
I think this looks horrible.
I got really excited when it got announced because I think it got announced roughly the same time as Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yep. Yeah.
Very similar in style, execution, but I just think this looks bad. I don't know. I've got nothing. When Resident Evil 4 was announced and all the gameplay trailers and stuff was coming, I got so excited for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got probably I don't know, a couple of 100 hours playing that game. Loved it. This one, nothing.
Yeah. So once again, um, I have no real attachment to the Silent Hill franchise, but I understand how pivotal and important it was to gaming and horror as a whole. I understand how cool Silent Hill 2 was. Still a game that I need to play, the original, not the
Mm.
remake. I don't think this is one that I'll be picking up unless we happen to be able to get a code for it by some miracle,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
um
And this is for
or
free.
we
Uh,
or we end up like, if people are like, I want to see a review, then yeah,
then yeah,
I'll
yeah.
pick it up. But for me, something just seems off every time I've seen this game, and I can't put my finger on it. It's like uncanny valley. Something just looks off to me, and whether it's the animation, the kind of movement, everything about it is just like, I want to love it, and yet I can't. You know, there's the people in it look a bit odd. The combat looks stilted to me. Once again, I haven't played it. I might play it and go, "Oh my goodness, this is incredible." But at the moment, I'm looking at it and going, "Oh dear, this looks like a 6 out of 10 if I've ever seen one."
Yeah, it just looks like a. It looks like they've gone. Well, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 2 did well. Let's see what we can do with the Silent Hill games. Copying that same format, maybe we can get them to play that game because it's similar. And I just think, surely not. You try and do something
Yeah,
different, maybe, but no, it
I
just
mean,
looks
yeah, I mean, look, that's
still like you say. If I could, I might get it. I got discounted written down here, and if I do play it, it could totally change my mind, and I could think, yep, fantastic game. But at this point in time,
no, no,
nothing.
I feel that entirely. I mean, look, it's from Blooper Team. Blooper Team, for those of you who don't know, are responsible for Layers of Fear, the Blair Witch game, Observer, and The Medium, just to name a few. They are fine 7 out of 10 games. The majority of them. They're fine 6, 7 out of 10. And bear in mind, they're not bad. They're just not. They're not like, incredible. There's nothing wrong with a 6 and 7 out of 10 game. You can get so much enjoyment out of it. I have some of my favorite games are 6 and 7s. I think the problem that you have here is, if we look at their kind of catalog and we go, okay, The Medium, new IP, Layers of Fear, new IP, Blair Witch, established IP but without a game, Observer, these are all things that don't have a basis. So the one thing you're basing this off is what Blooper Team can come up with. And if it's a 6 or 7 out of 10, you're going, cool, I like that, but there's no like reference. I have nothing to compare this to, so I'm happy with what I've got here. Silent Hill 2 is one of the most beloved horror games ever made.
Mm,
And
totally.
you have a very high bar to meet with that. And I don't think it's that there's no criticism of the team or the developers, but it is just a thing of like, I feel like this could use another. I kind of hope it gets delayed. I feel like it could use another 6 months in the oven to just get the feel of it down
Yeah,
properly.
yeah.
That kind of like, I don't. This is the thing.
There's just something
It's
about it,
not
isn't
one
there?
thing.
There's
It's
just
just
that. There's
off.
just
It's
there's
like the
something
uncanny valley
there.
of
Yeah.
games. Yeah. So Silent Hill 2. That's hopefully it's good. We will see.
Hmm.
Um, Following this, we had Monster Hunter Wilds gameplay. Never been a huge Monster Hunter. Always wanted to get into it. Definitely something I will be playing. What about yourself? You ever played Monster Hunter?
Um. Yeah, I played. Oh God, which one was it? It was one of the newer ones. I gave it a go, and because all of my other mates were playing it, and they were trying to tempt me into playing it, and I was like, yeah, cool, I'll give it a go. And I thought it looks amazing. It's one of those games I thought I'd get into, but as I was playing more and more, I just didn't get any
Yeah.
enjoyment out of it. It almost ended
No.
up feeling like a task than fun.
Yep. No, that is fair. It's a game I've got to try. I will be trying Monster Hunter.
Yeah, give it
I
a go because
know
I think it is. I mean,
it's a
clearly,
Marmite's.
I think some of the numbers
Yeah.
point out it is a fantastic game. People love it.
Yeah, it's just not your
It's
taste.
just
That's cool.
not my thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I know Monster Hunter Rise is coming to PlayStation Plus, so I'll probably give that a go. Overall, love the look of this. I think this looks awesome.
Mm.
The one thing that I am like, ooh, is if it's on the what engine? Is it the RE engine? Is it the Resident Evil engine that they use?
What the yeah, the RE engine. I'm not sure. Did it say?
I'm just gonna have a look. RE engine, yeah.
RE
So
engine.
if it's
Okay.
on the RE engine, um, playing Dragon's Dogma 2, awesome game, horrible frame rate. You go into a town and it's like, oh dear, that's not great. So
Yeah.
my hope is that they have refined the engine enough to handle these bigger open environments. Besides from that, I have full faith. I think it'll be awesome. Um, anything else to say on Monster Hunter Wilds?
Not from me. No, that's about it. Again.
Cool. So, moving on, we then have the final announcement of the showcase, Astrobot,
Yeah.
which is
No.
Ubisoft's game. I cannot wait for this.
Yeah.
This looks incredible.
Yeah. So
Um,
I've written
yeah,
down here Astrobot, PlayStation's Mario.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I will
I
be buying this day one.
yeah.
Like,
If
yeah,
I had a PlayStation, I mean, I've written down pre-order. If I had a PlayStation, I'd buy it straight away.
yeah,
Definitely see how it was the end of the showcase, or state of play. Sorry,
yeah,
fantastic game. It looks fun.
yeah,
Visually, again, loving the colors. So much variety of environments, things that just keep your mind going. Yeah, something new. Just keep playing
yeah,
through it. Keep finding new stuff. Yeah, can't wait.
yep. So for me, it's kind of like this in general is everything I wanted from a full Astro book.
Mm-hmm.
You got Astro's Playroom when you get a PS5, it's packaged in. Incredible game showcases the PS5s. All its features. I think this game could be a tent pole. If you get a PS5, get Astro.
Yeah,
Get
100%.
Astro.
Yeah,
I think that is going to be. I would not be surprised if with the PS5 Pro, whenever that is announced, this is a package game.
yeah,
You just
well,
put
yeah,
this in,
yeah. Or you get it
because
with it. It's one of those like,
yeah, like a packing game
yeah,
where like yeah.
yeah. Get this and
No,
God of War.
yeah, yeah, that's it. You know what I mean. And so, yeah, this had a release date of September 6th announced. I am
Hold on.
so excited.
Oh, bloody hell. Wrong hole.
Mm.
Carry on.
You're good. Glad I'll get me time to cough. Yeah, so this had a release date of September 6th announced, and yeah, it's day one purchase. For me, I'm so excited. We've got a pretty stacked year, and then that concluded the end of the showcase. A fun little tidbit: I read somewhere that this will be around about 4 times longer than Astro Playroom, so that averages
Okay,
out about
nice,
12 hours.
nice.
This seems awesome. I'm so down for this.
Yeah,
It's also worth noting that this is priced a little bit below average. This is going to sell for £60 instead of 70,
okay,
which also
okay.
I think that's
Still, I think
I mean,
a bit too much, but I'm glad that it's
I don't,
not your average.
yeah. I mean, for me, I think it's fair pricing in regard to in the current climate of games, right? I think it's not
Yeah,
a 70. I think it's not a £70 game.
no.
Um, and I don't. I think that's an excellent choice. I don't think seventy
So, what
pounds
are
would
your overall thoughts on the PlayStation State of Play then?
overall. Eh,
Yeah.
it was a meh. It was fine. It was like a 5 out of 10 for me. If I had to give it a rating,
Yeah,
I don't.
I think it would even go smaller than that. I'd go 3 to
Yeah,
4 out of 10 because it's. I just think they had nothing really to show. There was
yeah,
nothing that really grabbed my eye.
yeah.
The only thing
No,
was Marvel Rivals, and that was a thing we already knew about, and was excited for later on. But I feel like PlayStation, they never. Let me rephrase that. They haven't done a state of play properly in quite a few years. They just sort of gradually announce things. So when things are ready to be announced, they just drop a trailer
yeah,
for everyone to be hyped about for it coming out next year or 2 years' time. Their state of plays, I think, now are just sort of almost recapping of what they've already announced.
yeah. I think for me, it's a case of state of play sets an expectation, Everybody expected a showcase. Sony didn't comment on that, which I think they should have. I think they should have got that earlier. Hey, we're not doing one, but we're doing this before people run away with themselves,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We all expected a showcase. We didn't get a showcase. That's on us. Fair enough. We get a state of play. State of play sets the expectation of, hey, there's a few cool bits, but nothing huge,
Yeah.
right? It's worth noting that this state of play had very few things that grabbed my attention. Some
Very.
people
Yeah.
will be like, oh my God, it's incredible. What I think hurts it for me is the games they did show, which I was intrigued about, didn't look great. Concord,
Yeah.
not interested.
Yeah.
You know, um,
Yeah. And
Astrobot,
knowing
can't wait. Silent Hill, eh.
you've really got to change my mind. You've really got to show me something good with Silent Hill, because
Yeah.
it's a game, like you said, that it holds quite a lot of gravity to it, and if you mess that up, then you're not going to get a good feedback from it, and I don't think that.
Yeah.
I,
It's basically like, tell me why I shouldn't just go play the original.
yeah, yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
You know, I have this game that everybody says is really well renowned. Why should I play your version?
yeah, yeah.
Besides,
And it's just, I feel like PlayStation is losing it. Like they're I felt, coming from an Xbox kid myself, I know I was one of them. PlayStation to me was always like the higher end. It was these are your almost premium packaged games, the ones that are really well looked after. Just your Enchanted, your God of Wars, your Spider-Man. They're the gold tier of solo gaming. Perfect. Yeah. And I just feel like it's almost up on its high horse, not really doing anything now. Now it's there.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I think for me, it's definitely a strange climate for games as a whole. We'll get onto the Xbox showcase, but I think that shows how you can handle a post death of E3 climate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, it was mid. It was mid for me.
Yeah.
So that was the Sony State of Play Abridged.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, for those of you who haven't watched it. So moving on, we now have Summer Games Fest Live Abridged, where we're going to go over all of their games. So starting off, we started with an interesting one, Lego Horizon Adventures.
Oh, before all that, I've written down here, Jeff's new shoes. I feel like it's got to be a thing that we've got to talk about. Every time Jeff comes on, he's got banging new clogs on.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Like, he's every time. I feel like it's just the highlight of the show every time you see Jeff. Just cool little shoes he's got on. And one little thing I love that they introduced with about talking before any of the games got shown.
I mentioned about the devs.
Well, they talked about the top 10 best sellers of the year.
Okay.
And they made a note about how 8 of them were independent developers.
Mm-hmm.
So what I think is now sort of being dubbed as AA.
Yeah.
Things like that. I just thought that's just nice seeing that it's not always going to be the massive corporate companies that are earning the big bucks.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it was really cool how he mentioned about, obviously, the layoffs with Tango Gameworks and Arcane Austin, without directly naming Microsoft, of course. And I think it's also really cool how he brought up a lot of independent games, which predominantly this showcase was very good at showcasing, I think, some independent developers. That's cool.
100%.
We like that. So what were your thoughts on Lego Horizon Adventures? For those of you who don't know, Lego Horizon is based off the Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West franchise, which is a PlayStation franchise, although interestingly, it's coming to PC, PS5, and Nintendo Switch.
I thought it was so out of the blue.
Yeah.
It came out of nowhere. I was thinking this is like are they bringing back Lego Dimensions? Or something along those lines? But no, it's just a straight up Lego Horizon game. And I mean, it looks fun. I don't see why it's a thing.
No,
but there it is.
Once again, I did not know Horizon was that big of a franchise. But it was big. but it's a first party Sony property. But I didn't know it was. If you said to me, "Does that have wide appeal?" I'd be like, probably not. I mean, kids will buy it, I'm sure, and it looked visually stunning, like incredible looking game. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. But I just
but
didn't. So out of the blue, something to open up with as well. Totally random.
yeah, it seemed very. I mean, look, I think it's a good show opener. I think, oh wow, Jeff got especially after we just talked about state of play, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Amazing it wasn't at theirs, and they gave it to Jeff.
Baffles me. Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, look, it's cool. I would probably pick it up at a discount or play it if it's on PlayStation, like Plus. But yeah, there's not a huge amount that I personally think I find interesting about this game. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. No, I
I think
agree.
it's
I
a
agree.
Lego
I just
game.
think it's a fun little add-on that if you love the Horizon games, it gives you something to do.
Yeah, exactly. So next up, we have No More Room in Hell 2. Never played the first one. I think it was a mod. Was no more
I think it was a
room in
mod, but
hell.
it just I'm excited for it because No More Room in Hell was a good game. It's one of those games that you just sort of with your mates, you
Oh
think,
no, it's just
yeah, should we just pick it up?
it's
Yeah, let's pick it
standalone.
up and play it. And it just sort of popped off. And if you had that itch of want to play zombies, Left 4 Dead, Black Ops, and you didn't at the time or just didn't got bored of that, it scratched your itch. And yeah, no, it's definitely one I think I'd pick up and play with you guys.
Yeah, no, for sure. I like the look of it. It's basically, for those of you who don't know, it's like a Left 4 Dead style. You're dropped into a big open map, and you need to survive, and you need to find each other and survive. That is the rough premise of it. Am I
Yeah,
correct there
yeah,
for the
yeah,
second one?
yeah. It's literally a Left 4
Um,
Dead.
yeah. So following on from that, we had Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, and
It,
if this is the reason I didn't get Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy, I hate you. I hate you so much.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, look, it's. Will I
It,
play it?
it's
Yeah,
again.
because it's on PlayStation Plus
It's
day one.
very akin to those sort of games that sort of came out in that sort of era with Harry Potter. You had your Harry Potter Quidditch game. Um, I mean, I have just written down a Harry Potter FIFA, um,
Well, yeah, literally.
which is what it is. I think it'll be a fun thing to do. I wouldn't mind playing it, but it's definitely one I don't think. I could be totally wrong. It could be the next FIFA. I could be looking at Harry Potter Quidditch 2020, I don't know, 8 or something. But
No, I,
who
I know what you
knows?
mean. It doesn't. We already had one of these, right? We had years and years and
Years
years ago.
ago. Yeah.
Um, but it would be interesting to see. I'm sure it might get a groundswell because it's Harry Potter. It might be fun, but I personally would have just enjoyed having Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy. That's
Hogwarts
just me.
Legacy, yeah. Yeah.
Um, so following on from Quidditch Champions, which is out September 3rd, by the way, we have Cuff Bust, which is from a single man
That.
uh, called. Sorry, it's from a single developer, and it is he made Choo Choo Charlie. For those of you who don't know, that's the spider train where you
That's the
shoot
spider
him.
train.
This looks awesome.
I love it.
Uh,
I love it. It
it's about
looks
alien
so
mice
fun.
breaking out of jail. It's a description.
It's just that one
Um,
clip, I'm sorry, where they're just clearly this other dude's like going along doing some other stuff, and you just got the rest of them beating the crap out of this guard consistently. There,
yeah,
there
yeah,
was
yeah.
there was a cut where they're like, oh, you can beat the guards down to escape, and then a few clips later, it cuts back to them still beating the shit out of him.
No, it's great. Yeah. Did you play Choo Choo Charlie?
No, I watched a bunch of YouTubers play it. It did look fun, but I personally never played it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down for this. But yeah, I see us playing this for sure. That's like,
Oh,
we-
100%, yeah. Yeah,
yeah. I also liked at the end it was like out 2025 maybe, I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Which I was just like, that's great.
I love your
Um,
honesty. What, I want more games to
yeah,
do that.
yeah, exactly. So Following on, we had Star Wars Outlaws trailer, which confirmed Lando Calrissian is in the
Oh,
game, and then just promoted Ubisoft forward. Um, yeah, this is like one of my most anticipated games of the year. I know it's Ubisoft. I know it's going to be Ubisoft in space, pretty much.
yep,
Um, I want that. I don't. That's fine. That's fine by me. Um,
yeah,
I also think it's worth noting that I think Ubisoft, we have a bad kind of picture of Ubisoft, rightly so for different things, right? But
yeah,
this is from Ubisoft Massive, who are responsible for the Division games, which are actually really good games. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, that game that you don't remember and nor does anybody else, but it did exist. And while I wasn't a huge fan of the gameplay, thought the world was incredible. The thing that kept me in that game was Pandora. So the fact that the same team who made a game about a world which I'm not as interested in are making this game about a world which I've grown up loving, it just screams like, yes, I'm all over this. What did you think?
no, 100%. I don't think we've spoken enough about it. I never really looked into it because I thought another Star Wars game. Okay, like they're all good, but I just yeah, okay, and just looking more and more of the gameplay, what they got going on with it. Um, as I mentioned to you before, I'm just happy there's a Star Wars game where you're not actually playing as a Jedi.
Yeah, yeah.
You are a grunt in this vast world, and you're
Yeah,
finding your way within it. And I think that to me is more what I'm looking forward to than probably anything else. It's just seeing the world.
yeah. I love the fact you're a scoundrel in it. I love the fact that you are the way they've described it is that Kay Vess, the kind of the protagonist you play as, she is experiencing this world for the first time, right? And
Yeah,
so
so you get to experience it with her.
yeah, it's like this dual thing. You both get to experience, what this world is together, and I absolutely love that. I love the idea of finally being able to properly explore Moss Eisley and things like that in in full open world goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah. So cannot wait. Star Wars Outlaws, that's out August 30th. Um, Once again, not skimming over the fact that they got a weird pricing system and stuff, but just
yeah,
in
oh god,
general.
yeah, well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Next up, we had the indie dev behind the game Gris announced a new game called Neva. I
Neither,
hope I'm pronouncing that right.
never, neither.
Never, never, one of them. Looks cool. Yeah, a beautiful art style, incredible. Like wow, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It gives me Ori and the Blind Forest, uh, Hollow Knight vibes. Did you ever get to play
Mhm.
them?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. I mean, I've played Ori a lot when it came out, and solely due to its visual, uh, stunning. I feel like that's what like a big thing that I have with games as well. Like I feel like you have to catch my eye, even if gameplay can be a bit hard at times or just a bit bit tanky. Um, Even story, I feel like it can be a bit lackluster if you've got a fantastic visual, and this definitely has that for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 1,000%. I never played Gris, but I think it's awesome. I think it looks really cool. I would be intrigued to have a look at it. So following on from that, we had Civilization 7. Wow. Wow, 2K. What were you thinking?
Who?
No shade to Civ 7. I think Civilization is a great franchise. I don't think you should have tweeted that we're going to be announcing a continuation of one of our most beloved franchises when you have Mafia and Fallout and Borderlands and
Yeah,
all of these other games, which are obviously the ones that are going to spring to the forefront of people's mind instead of Civilization. Does it look cool? Yeah, cool. I mean, I'm not a huge Civ fan. I
maybe
played
because
Revolution.
like it just
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know. I love how when you got the main guy, talking to you about it, just in the background are his BAFTAs,
Yeah, it's
his
wonderful.
awards to be like, see, this game is good.
Yeah, Sid Meier promoting the game. Yeah, I mean, look, it'll be cool. Not necessarily what I was hoping for, but there we go.
Yep.
So moving on, we then had Black Myth Wukong Collector's Edition revealed at $400. Yeah.
Bloody hell. I
You
didn't know
do,
that.
yeah, you do get a fun little
I want a piece of
statue.
gold with that. Jeez, some
Yeah, you do get
investment.
a statue. There's different bits of it. I don't know if I'll be buying that. Definitely won't. But hey, it looks.
Jesus, I mean, it looks. The thing is, it's oh god, it just ruins it. The I've heard this game. I think it's based on actual Asian folklore. It's where a
Yeah,
lot
so it's
of
based on the story Journey to the West.
yeah, it's where a lot of most of your manga and anime, all their stories are. You can all bring it back to that, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah.
I personally don't know the story, but I have heard it's really good. It's obviously of its time, but it's still a fantastic story. Being able to play that, giving sort of Shadow of the Colossus vibes. Again, you God of War, fantastic. Give me that. But $400 fucking, like
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus.
the actual game won't be, luckily. For the, I'm sure for those who want it, that'll be cool. Um, it's a cool statue, for sure. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but that shouldn't
like
be. Like, what is it made out of? Platinum.
hopefully, you'd hope for
Yeah.
that price. But no, I mean, it look the game itself, Black Myth Wukong, looks really cool. Kind of looks like a vaporware game. Gonna be honest, looks like
Mm.
one that you never expect to come out, but it is coming out.
Yeah.
Um, which to me is just like, no way, that's a thing. That game will be when is that coming out? Actually, the scary.
Uh,
I'm having a look at the moment.
have a little look.
Bear with
August
um,
20th, twenty twenty
August
four.
20th. Yeah. So look, it looks really cool. It looks stunning actually, visually.
Mm.
If you're not into this, a little bit of a recommendation. If you're not into it, but you do want to experience Journey to the West, Enslaved Odyssey to the West is an incredible game, which is very much underrated, and is once again based on that same idea of Journey, same story of Journey to the West. So definitely give that a go. Is it backwards compatible? It might be backwards compatible. Uh, so moving on from Black Myth Wukong, we then have the open world survival game Once Human. Um, looks cool. Look, it's got some cool design. What's your thoughts on Once Human?
Um, yeah, I mean, it
Oh,
feels.
it's got a walking bus. That's the thing.
It's got a walking bus. It. I don't know. I just think it just looks generic in the sense of I think a lot of modern games that have come out recently. I think I've spoken to you about this before. A lot of uh, new IP sort of games, they all look the same.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
all
No,
look like Warframe. They all look like oh god, what was that game? Is it Control? Where you play as
yeah.
that?
Loves Control.
Yeah,
Control's excellent.
yeah, yeah. Uh, I
Jesse
feel like
Payton.
it's just that sort of main character in a world that is just sort of really busy.
Yeah, I mean, look, so for those of you who are wondering, it is an open world multiplayer post-apocalyptic um, game, which it appears to have all of the staples of what you'd expect from that. So crafting, building. There is a demo available for it, so you can give it a go.
Give it a
Which,
go.
yeah, you may be interested in doing. Moving on from that, though, we then have Metaphor ReFantasio, which is from the developers of Persona. Never played the Persona games, but been interested in testing them out. This looks cool. This is going to really appeal to somebody. Don't know if it's necessarily me, but I can totally see why people
Can we
were
just
into it.
pause? Where's your list? Because my next one was Space Marine.
Was it Space Marine?
Yeah, I swear I've got like because I'm looking at the state of play now. There's Summer Games Fest. Fuck me, I keep getting confused. Yeah, it's Once Human, and then it was a Garfield game.
Garfield
Samsung,
game?
and then it was Space Marine.
Was that an advert or an announcement?
That could have just been an advert. I think it was just an advert.
Yeah.
My bad. My bad.
No, no, no. You're all good. You're all good. Space Marine looks sick.
Right,
Like
fucking. Oh,
I can't wait. I can't wait for Space Marine. That's like
yeah.
yeah. But but no. What do you think of Metaphor? Have you played the Persona games?
No, no. So I never. I've always wanted to, but just something back in my mind could not tell you what it is, but just keeps putting me off them.
Yeah.
Um,
Not your not your
yeah, but
bag
looking at this, I'm
necessarily.
thinking, yeah, no, it looks again visually stunning. It definitely has that Persona feel to it. Is it turn based?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. So I've definitely like warmed up to turn-based games recently, and
Yeah,
that's all
yeah.
thanks
Same here.
to Darkest Dungeon and things like that.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, it'd definitely be one that I'll probably give it a go. Like I say, if there's a demo, um, so let's see if something clicks, and then once I've got that, hell yeah.
Yep, no, I absolutely agree. I think it's a really cool game. Looks interesting. I'm excited for it. Next up, oh, here we go. Batman Arkham Shadows gets a story trailer for the MetaQuest 3.
Can we just move on?
I know.
Can we
I know.
Street Fighter DLC?
Um,
That's not.
yeah. So look, right, it's a thing. I know I'm not bashing it because it's VR. I
I
think
am.
yeah, you're like I hate it.
I,
I think I think it could be really interesting if I think it could be really interesting from the people who developed Iron Man VR. I think the problem with it is that you already had a bad reception. You already had backlash to your game.
yeah.
And then you were like, hey, no, we're going to prove you wrong. Come to this event and watch this trailer, and it's going to make you think it's great. And then you go and you show a purely CG story trailer, which looks really cool.
Looks really
And
cool.
you have
You know
the
what? I
voice
would
actor from
love to
Origins.
pay
What's his
for a
name?
full game and play that story,
Yeah.
just not on
Um,
VR.
Yeah, it's the issue is though you then are like, but the gameplay will be at Gamescom in August, which is another 2 months away.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's kind of
I don't know if people have seen it, but there have been. I don't know if they actually are leaks or if they're official photos of gameplay.
I'll have that.
Yeah, so there is a few. You know, it's the sort of Batman hands, and you're seeing him just punching a few dudes. Um, Fun. I mean, I think it will give you if you did play Arkham VR, that was good. That was a nice little, just a little thing to do, and I enjoyed it. But I was lucky enough to have a PlayStation VR at the time, and I got it for the cheap, and that's the sole reason I got that was to play the Batman one.
Yeah,
Just to literally, I mean, you could get it done in 20 minutes, half an hour, and
yeah,
maybe a full story could sway me that way, but I think for me, it legit is the fact that it's solely on the MetaQuest 3,
yeah. I
which
mean,
isn't. I mean, how much is the MetaQuest 3? If you just
450.
400,
Yeah,
450 quid. It's. I mean, I've known people that have put less on a mortgage, on a deposit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's such an obscene thing to get one game out of that might or might not even be good.
yeah. I think irrespective of the platform necessarily, for me, it's more just a case of like you've really not had great press So it seems like the optimum thing for you to do would be come out with gameplay. Show me
Yeah,
why I should care about this game.
yeah,
Um, I think the problem is you came out with a story trailer, looks really cool, but people are only going to care so long, you know. So
yeah.
we'll see. Arkham Shadow looks. I'm optimistic. I will be optimistic about it. Um,
You go for that.
next on. Next on here, reading from the Games Radar announcements, I've got Tears of Metal,
Tears of Metal.
um,
Yep.
which is the medieval hack and slash co-op roguelite. Cool. Looks cool.
Yep.
Once again, one of them games I would probably play if it was discounted or kind of free
Yeah. No, I
bundling
totally
game.
agree.
Don't know.
I
Yeah.
think it. I mean, I some of it. I mean, you could say again. It's probably just me. You could. It's not for everyone. I get it.
Mhm.
It's sort of given me a combination of Darkest Dungeon and totally accurate battle simulator.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. I see that entirely.
But I just think again, visually stunning. I love the art direction, the sort of sketchy, almost toy like characters. You could imagine someone either playing with these toys and doing these battles.
Yeah, yeah, no, 1,000%. I think it looks cool. I think it's an interesting idea. I'll be interested to see what it does. So that was that one.
Yeah.
Moving on,
Yeah.
we have Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. That got a release date of October 11th. I'm hyped for this game. I'm not a
Yeah.
Dragon Ball watcher, but damn, does this look cool?
It looks
This
good.
looks like
It looks good.
this looks like you are going to be just fighting your friends in demolishing cities, and from the gameplay, it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool. The level of destruction, the animation, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm there for it.
Way better than what was the JJK.
I'll
Oh God. It's the Jujutsu
what,
Kaisen
Jujutsu
fighting
Kaisen?
game.
Yeah. Hmm.
That got released not so long ago. Oh my God. I think when you've got a game like I know Dragon Ball it's a totally different beast. And you do need those over the top moments, but it just blows out of the water. Like you're watching that and then watching this and like, oh, tell me which game came out in which year.
Yeah. Hmm.
You would not think they came out roughly the same year or at least a year apart from each other.
No, it's crazy. So yeah, super excited for that. Definitely will be checking that out. Following that, Delta Force Hawk Ops has a PC alpha coming in July. It has a Black Hawk Down like mission campaign that is based around the movie. I believe they said.
Okay.
I think it looks like an FPS, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Delta Force is like an old franchise in general. Delta Force dates way back. To
Again,
I
if you
believe,
just
like,
want
the
to, if you
early
just want to scratch that
2000s.
Call of Duty itch, but don't want to play Call of Duty,
Yeah,
Delta Force is there for you. I think. I personally wouldn't be getting it, but who knows?
No.
It could change. It could change my mind if I just want to have that little bit of a. I want to play an FPS, but none that I have right. None of the thousands that I have right now.
No, exactly. Look, the original Delta Force came out in 1998. It's obviously it will have nostalgia for some people. For me, there's not a huge amount, so it just kind of looks like a generic-ish first-person shooter that is admittedly pretty and nice, and I'll give it a go, but nothing where I'm like, oh my god, I need to play Delta Force now.
Yeah.
You know. So following this, I'm going to rattle off just a few. We had Fatal Fury, City of Wolves. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Not really. It just sort of skimmed over. Again, pretty art style, but nothing really come to mind.
Yeah, no, that is fair. We then have Battle Crush Early Access, which is coming in June. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Fun.
Fun.
Not
cutesy.
my thing.
Like, yeah, not my thing really.
It's kind of like a top down. For those of you who are wondering, how do you describe like a
A
League
League of
type
Legends,
thing?
yeah, a League of Legends
Yeah.
type.
Following that, we have Mecha Break, which is getting a closed beta in August 2024. This looks cool. This looks
This looks
like a
cool. It looks fun.
super.
I think if it was, is it free to play, or do you buy?
No, I think you're buying
I
that.
think if it's free to play, maybe, but yeah, I think it again. It's one of those games again. If you've got like an itch for something, if you've got a craving to play as something, and you're like, I want to be a mecha, I want to be a Gundam, I want to be a
Yeah,
big old Pacific Rim fighting robot, then it's there for
it
you.
look,
But
yeah, it looks cool.
yeah,
Frenetic, fast-paced mech combat. Definitely something that I would
yes,
consider and look at.
I just get excited because I
But
realise what's next.
yeah, exactly. So following this was really cool. We had Blumhouse Games reveal its full slate of indie horror games that it's publishing.
This was the
So
highlight of the whole show for me.
yeah, I mean, this was really unexpected. Truth be
Yeah.
told, I thought Blumhouse was going to be doing VR titles. I thought it was kind of like lowest hanging fruit, easiest thing you can kind of get into.
Yep.
They actually unveiled 6 new indie titles,
Yep.
which is insane. So to list them, we had Fear the Spotlight, Sleep Awake. I'm gonna Chrysol, Theatre of Idols. I believe that's how you
Yeah.
say that. I hope that is. The Simulation. That looks very interesting. Grave Seasons, and to finish off Codename Project D. Um, Look, this was really cool. The whole idea behind it is that Blumhouse are kind of publishing these smaller budget indie titles that have really, really cool, unique ideas. Oh, I love it.
They're just so good, and they're all so different from each other.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no
I,
like, this is what I fucking love. They're all like, I'm sitting up in my chair. You're probably hearing it. Like love horror games. Love them. Haven't played enough of them. Need to play more. Love that. I'm that weird adrenaline junkie. I hate playing them. I get scared. I'm a right pussycat, but love them to bits. Seeing all these, just they really tickled that funny bone in me that just wanted to play every single one of them. They're all sort of, like you say, indie horror, just fun, unique little stories. The one I'm actually quite excited for is that Stardew Valley horror.
I was just gonna bring it up. Effectively, Stardew Valley, but
But there's a murder or
yeah, Stardew Valley, but there's like a serial killer going,
yeah, I love that.
which is just so cool.
And some of them
Such a
just
cool
really
concept.
playing on that sort of 80s horror, low bit style
Yeah. So
energy.
like Fear the Spotlight. That's got a release date of September 15th.
So good.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm super excited. Incredible. Go do yourself a favor and check out all of the trailers for them.
Go check them all out.
If you haven't
Blumhouse
already.
Games.
Oh,
Just
so cool.
well done. Well done. Honestly, highlight
Well
the
done.
whole show for me. Highlight the whole show.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's definitely up there. So following that, we have a co-op beat 'em up, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers,
Yeah.
Rangers Rewind.
Yeah, we did.
If you played the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, looks like that.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
It's that nice classic
It's that.
arcade co-op beat 'em up, sliding screen,
Yeah,
fun little
different.
story.
Yeah. Following that, we had Deer and Boy. This guy made me cry in it.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah,
I watched the trailer and I was like, well, I'm welling up.
yeah. Well, I'm gone.
It's a cute deer and a boy. I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
there. Very cool. Kind of akin to your Limbos, but less creepy.
Yeah.
What would you compare it to?
Hold on, I need to see a bit of gameplay for it to spark something up in my mind. It's giving me like, oh god, would you say Journey?
Yeah,
Bit of Journey
yeah.
vibes.
Journey, but 2D.
Journey,
2.5.
yeah, and
Um,
oh god, it's definitely there's something that it's reminding me of, but Oh,
Yeah,
someone's saying a little bit like Little Nightmares,
yeah,
essentially.
exactly. Little nightmares, but instead of
Cutesy.
making you scream, it makes you cry.
Yeah.
So that looked interesting. Following on from that, we had Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which showed off a brand new trailer. Never played the first, but heard a lot about it. This actually kind of intrigued me. I was like,
Yeah,
all right,
it's is the medieval GTA is what
medieval.
I'm hearing people say.
Yeah,
Um,
it's kind of, but like very kind of realistic. You're almost masochistic when you play it.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
I think it makes me want to play the first one again. I heard really good things from the first one. Um, yeah, yeah,
yeah. Yeah. So it kind of very interesting uh, looking game. I'll be intrigued to see more of it. Following on, we had Slitterhead, which got a November release date and gameplay trailer. What did you think of this? Now, for
this
those of you who don't know, Slitterhead is from the creator of Silent Hill.
yes,
So, yes,
the one we just
very.
trashed a few moments ago. Um,
Yeah.
no, this it's intrigued me.
Yeah.
I like the mechanic of it. It reminded me of that sort of Watch Dogs,
Yeah. Yeah. I see
the
what you mean.
UK one. What was it called?
I go
Legion.
Legion. Yeah. I go back to it. There's a game called, it's a horrible, dreadful game. Don't ever play it, called Mind Jack. That
No.
came out, had a very similar idea, which was you could effectively jump into different people
Mm-hmm. Mm.
using your cool
It
connected brain.
also gives me. I think you're gonna hate me for saying this.
Go on.
Um. Oh God, what is that game called? No, it's gone. It's gone from my head. Not Parasite. Oh God, it's very infamous style gameplay. Um.
Okay, yeah. I kind of see what you mean with that. Yeah,
No, what is the game? What is it? Oh my God,
it's gone. It's not
Prototype.
coming. Yeah, what? Were you running about as a mutant? I
Yeah,
think
running
that's
about as a
called
mutant
this.
and spitting out venom energy and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. Personally, look, I like the look of this. I'm intrigued. Looks a little bit rough for a November drop. Looks a little bit, just some of the combat. Whether that was because there was not the audio to go with it, um, don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, no,
But
I see what you mean.
I'm
I see what you mean, but I
I'm
think,
intrigued.
yeah,
I'm intrigued by it. I'm up for this. I'm up for Slitterhead. And November, hey, I'm glad we're packing out the year. That is cool.
yeah.
Now,
Wait, yeah, wait.
now
This
moving on
next
to
one.
what could be my highlight of the show. We got the Killer Bean game. We got the
Killer
Killer Bean
Bean.
game. It's a roguelike shooter, and oh, geez, does this look cool? Just like, yeah, it's just don't take itself seriously. It's cool. It's fun. I love it. I want it. Give it to me now.
Yeah,
Inject Killer Bean into my veins. You know,
yeah.
I'm there for it. What were your thoughts?
No, loving every moment of it. As soon as it came on screen,
Yeah,
just
just like it.
fat old grin on my face. Couldn't stop smiling.
Just like give it to me now.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. So, moving on, we then have I'm gonna butcher. Is it Karin? Is that how you pronounce it?
Karin.
Yeah, Karin. Cairin.
Yeah.
Might butcher that. Is a climbing game, um, which looks very similar to a game that released on Xbox called Jaunt. I believe it is.
Okay.
I probably butchered that now. Saying it.
Can't
Um,
say I've ever played that one either.
so it's on Xbox Game Pass. It looks very interesting. Um, Jusant, is that how I say it? Jusant. Oh,
You're
yeah.
talking to another dyslexic person as well, so I have
Cool.
no clue.
That was the climbing game on Xbox. This looks cool. It's not my type of game, but I would be interested to see more of it. I would be definitely down to try it.
Yeah,
For
no,
sure.
I think I'd definitely pick this up. Like, I feel like there's another. It's one of those. It gives me Um, Somewhat Firewatch energy in the
Yeah,
sense
yeah, I
of
see that.
you are just climbing. That is all it is. It's intense climbing because you've got to do it properly. Um, but it's just I can see that there's just going to be this narrative that just goes through over and over. There's going to be twists and turns. You're going to find out. Just I think it's going to have a good story to tell.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm interested to see more from it.
Mm-hmm.
Following on, we then had Wonder Stop. I'm super excited for this.
One to stop.
This
Yes.
this was almost basically you are a fighter who now is like a caretaker, janitor person for a mystical tea shop,
Yep.
but it is from the creator of the Stanley Parable, or creators of the Stanley Parable, I should say.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who haven't played the Stanley Parable, it's an awesome game. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, where basically whatever you do is accounted for within the story, and the narrator kind of talks about it to you. It's very
Yeah.
very
It's
clever,
absolutely
very well done,
mind-blowingly like it makes you.
crafted,
Yeah. It makes you
and there's
second
two of
guess a
them
lot
now.
of things.
So yeah, definitely give it a go. Wonder Stop looks really cool. The ending of the trailer done it for me,
Oh,
where like
100%. I'm watching
she's
through this and I'm thinking, okay, it's a fun like
Stardew Valley
Stardew
esque.
Valley, pass the time. Have a bit of fun. There might be a bit of a story to it. I was thinking, okay, not much, but there was just those little tiny moments until right at the very end where I was like, oh my god,
And
I'm
then
completely sold.
yeah, and then basically right at the end of the trailer, not to if you want to go watch it now. But at the end of the trailer, she like goes into a little bit of like her past warrior self,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, yep, that's just packing and
There's
slap.
a little room in my brain somewhere that just absolutely loves cutesy games that have a dark side to them.
Yep,
I
yep,
think like one that comes to mind very quickly is like a Zelda, where it's like you can definitely give that to a child, but it has massive elements to it that it's just like you would not put that in a PG-18 game.
yeah. No, I see what you mean for sure. So yeah, really enjoyed that. Really can't wait. Following on, we had Unknown 9 Awakening. Got a new story trailer, still no release date. I believe it's meant to be dropping this year, so we should have one soon. This looks cool. This looks like a double A. Have fun. I'll wait for a sale and then probably pick it up.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
agree. I agree. I think it
kind
looks
of,
fun. Definitely, like I say, with just a, I would not probably get it pre-ordered because or just a full price because again, it's not tickling that funny bone for me, but
it looks
it
interesting
looks
enough.
interesting enough. Yeah, it looks interesting that if I see it's discounted, I'm like, yeah, I'll pick it up.
Yeah. Following on, we then had Entoria, the last song. It's a Souls game. It's a Souls game,
It's a
and
Souls
it's
game.
out right now, I think. But there's a demo, so you can go play a demo. Does nothing for me. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cool, cool trailer,
Very
cool
cool
trailer.
trailer.
I enjoyed the trailer, but doesn't really do anything to tickle my fancy. We then we moved on to the first Descendant. Uh,
Mm.
this this was kind of like came out of nowhere for me. I don't know why I'd missed this for some reason. Um, but I mean, it visually looks really good. Looks really cool. Um, don't necessarily like. I think it's a free to play. I want to say it is.
It gives that vibe, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely gives that free to play vibe. I'm just double checking this now because I believe. No, usually shoot. Right, it doesn't say. Oh yeah, free to play shooter. Yeah, so it's a free to play, 4 player multiplayer shooter. Visually, it looks really cool. The trailer was interesting. If for me, not really giving anything of like, okay, that's really cool. What am I doing again? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. No,
Maybe
I
it was
feel that.
delirium. I don't know if I was the only one that felt that, but yeah, if you're interested, it releases on July 2nd, so probably give that a look. Really. Um, Following this, we then had the Among Us developers launching their own publishing arm called Outer Sloth.
Yes,
Um, this,
I really like that.
yeah, looks cool. I Lots of like interesting things which I'm sure we'll hear more about. I know they've done a little sizzle reel, but they all seemed quite kind of, I feel like we'll get more on them when they're more fully fleshed out.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Um, they also announced they gave a tease of the Among Us TV show, which looks actually really cool.
Yeah, it's kind
Looks
of
very
fun, yeah.
looks
I'll
kind
give
of
it a
neat.
watch, yeah.
Yeah. We then had Sonic X Shadows Generation launching on October 25th, once again proving that October is the new February, having every game under the sun in it. Um, Look, I loved Sonic Generations, and this looks cool. I will probably end up picking this up if it isn't horrifically expensive. You know.
Yeah, go for it.
Um,
I've never really been the first and only Sonic game I've ever played is Sonic Unleashed.
right. You'd like Generations. I reckon if you enjoy that, you'd probably enjoy Generations. Yeah, so it's like coming out at like $50, so I'm imagining £45. Yeah, I'll give it a go. It's been described as Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury,
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
effectively, but now with Shadow. I'm there for it. That's cool. Um, so June Awakening was then had a trailer that showed it's going down an alternative history to the books and films. I'd love a single player June game. I don't. I love the look of June Awakening. I just don't know how much I'm going to get into it. You know?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna get absolute flag for this, but haven't watched the movies yet. Um, Regretted it every time I've not seen it in the cinema.
Yeah,
Uh,
we should do a movie night. We should do one and two.
oh, 100%, 100%. Because they're. I've heard one is a bit of a drag. Um, Two, I've heard everyone loves it. People who watched
Yeah,
it
I've
have
not
loved
seen
it,
two yet.
and
Yeah.
yeah, uh, I don't know. It's even when the trailers for the movies that came out, I've never. It's just something about it that just hasn't
Never clicked with you.
never clicked. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fair,
I
man.
know, and
I think you have to be in the mood for June. You know.
yeah, yeah.
But,
So the game, I think, is doing the same thing for me because I don't have that excitement for the movies.
yeah.
The game
No, I feel
itself,
that.
I think, if you knew nothing about that the movies existed or anything like that, and you just watched this gameplay trailer, I just think it's kind of it's a game.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what it becomes. We'll see if it goes anywhere. Following that, we have Battle Aces, which is an RTS game for everybody. Not a huge fan of RTSs, so Battle Aces really didn't do much for me, but I'm sure it's somebody's something. What about you, buddy?
Yeah, kind of the same thing. I just think it's it's one of those. It is what it is.
Yeah,
Have fun with it.
yeah.
Not my
So
cup of
following
tea.
that, we then had the finals getting an update. It's going to Kyoto on June 13th, which at time of recording is out. I've been playing. I jumped back into the finals. Love it. Love the destruction in it. Incredible free to play game. Go support that game. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Have
go with
you
what you're
have you
saying.
played the
I
finals?
personally have not played it. No. Um,
Download it. We should play that. That
yeah.
is it's
Okay.
amazing. Yeah, it's an incredible game. Um, yeah. Okay. Next we have the Alan Wake 2 Night Springs DLC.
Yes.
As somebody who loves Remedy games, right? The fact that I got to see Jesse Faden, I forget the name off Quantum Break. He's not the dude from Quantum Break. He's another person who was in Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
But that actor and the Diner girl, I don't know her
Yep.
name.
Yep.
But these characters, the fact that I got to see Jesse Faden, the way they're blending this Remedy connected universe, I'm there for it. Haven't completed Alan Wake 2 yet. Really enjoyed it though. I also really So they announced a physical edition to the game, and I had mixed feelings because on the one hand, I'm like, great, there's finally a physical edition. On the other hand, it's like is it getting to a point in games industry where now like physical editions are announcements? Like,
Wow,
hey,
yeah,
you can
no, that
buy this.
I know, didn't
Yeah,
even
you
think of it
can
that
buy
way.
this.
Yeah.
Um, you can buy this physically. You can own this. Um, it's yeah, it's a very there's a deeper topic to talk about there, which we might cover in a later episode. But what about you? What did you think of Alan Wake? Have you played Alan Wake 2? Did you enjoy Alan Wake as a whole? Have you
So
never
yeah,
touched
I've
it?
never played them. It's definitely on my wish lists. To play the Alan Wake games, especially Alan Wake
Yeah,
2. Seeing all the press and stuff it got for it, I think brilliant. I'd love to play them. Um, I think seeing this trailer has made me want to play it more than it did the original Alan Wake 2 trailers.
yeah, that is fair.
Seeing the Night Springs and knowing that it's a what is it ripping off? What is Night Springs ripping off? It's like Through the Looking
Uh,
Door or something like that. It's called,
no, I
isn't it?
know.
It's like a Goosebumps rip off.
Twin Peaks, and oh my God, there's another one. Not Twin Peaks. Oh my goodness. Hold on.
I know.
Oh
All I know is John Tron did a whole video about it. Had Leonard Nimoy
yeah, no, no,
voicing
no.
over it about like
Twilight
true
Zone.
ghost stories or something like that. Was it True
Twilight
Ghost
Zone.
Stories?
The Twilight Zone.
The Twilight
That's the
Zone. The
yeah.
Twilight Zone.
That's what it's inspired by. That's very much
100%.
going for.
100%.
Um, so I'm excited for that. So we're coming towards the end. I will rattle off a few. So New World, Atrium, coming October 15th. This is the Amazon
The Amazon.
Games,
That's what I've got written here. The Amazon game.
the
Uh,
Amazon game.
I,
It's yeah,
yeah,
it's a
I
game.
don't care.
Um,
I'm sorry.
yeah, no, me neither. I don't really care much for this. I'm sure it's wonderful. It's not my type of game. Hyperlight Breakers coming into early access later this summer. I've never played Hyperlight Drifter. I'm sure that's going to be for somebody. We might give it a go if we get chance, but
Potentially.
it
Yep.
looks cool. Cool art style. There for it. Next up, Party Animals is getting a cart mode.
Oh,
All right. Yep, I'm cool.
I'm
I'm
down for that.
happy.
I
I'll
think
give it a
Party
go.
Animals again. It's that if you ever play Gang Beasts when that was like
Yeah,
top
yeah.
shit back in the day, Party Animals I
Um,
think is just an improvement of that game.
yeah, I love the fact it's
Play
getting
it.
cart mode. I think that's awesome. It's also on Game Pass, so if you got that, give it a go. This one kind of hurts my heart. EA says it's still working on Skate 4. Shows off pre-alpha footage, and then confirms console playtesting head of full. I actually got into PC playtesting, but wasn't able to because I didn't have a running PC at
Oh,
said
damn.
time. I've signed up for console playtesting. I've got arguably hundreds of hours in Skate 3. That's like my
Yeah.
podcast game. Not when I'm doing podcasts, but when I'm listening.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
and
You're just playing it right
yeah,
now.
yeah, exactly. Skate 4 to me looks awesome. I do worry with it being free to play. I really hope they offer some kind of thing a bit like Delta Force does, where it's like, hey, you can pay for this single player mode, but the game is free to play. I'd love that. Please do that. If anybody from EA is listening, please offer me some kind of single player.
Yeah.
Um, Overall, it looks cool. This game's been in development a while, though. You know,
Long old time. Long old time.
and
Whether
I mean,
whether it actually has or not, it's just been put on hold and
I
they've been
mean,
focusing on other things. I don't know.
this was announced back in 2020. It's been 4 years.
Bloody hell. Bloody hell.
So,
I mean, is it as bad as how long was Dead Island 2?
oh my god, no, that's different.
That was
ballpark
decades, was it
style.
not?
Yeah, that literally. I think that was 2015. Dead Island 2.
Jeez, and that just came out last year, did it not? Or this year? Is it this year?
Last year, I think.
Last
Was
year.
it? Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, Dead Island 2 announcement trailer was 2014. Fuck.
Shit, that was nearly a decade ago.
Yeah, 2014, and it was released in 2023. So almost a decade. Almost a decade.
Bloody
Changed
hell.
hands, done all of that. Not the same game. Actually, was surprisingly sold really well. So that will get a sequel. Power World's biggest patch yet was also announced. Cool. Fell off Power World, but good for them. Glad it's still going.
Yep, yep.
If you got anything to add, please do. But I think we're both fairly similar on that.
Yep, no, totally agree.
Um,
Yep.
Yeah, so we then have Valorant, which is coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X and
Cool.
S. Cool. It's Valorant on console.
Yeah,
I will
happy
probably
for
give
him.
that a go. Yeah, that's awesome. Monster Hunter Wilds confirms crossplay for all platforms. In a series first. I like that. Great. Cool. We might be able to play Monster Hunter together, which
Yeah,
is a neat
just
thing. That's fun.
keep them going. Keep them
Um,
with spreading it everywhere. That's what you kind of want.
yeah. Um, Lastly, last announcement of the showcase: Phantom Blade Zero gets a heavy combat trailer. Phantom Blade Zero. What are your thoughts on that?
Looks fun. I think it's yeah, it's just one of those games again that just scratches that itch for some people. I think it's definitely that sort of fast paced,
Frenetic
getting that
combat
rhythm
type.
of doing things, and you'll just feel like an absolute badass.
Yeah, yeah. I
Again,
mean,
I think for me, I'll probably wait till I've actually seen full gameplay of someone playing it, not someone who knows all the moves. And
yeah. I think the big question with it was when we first saw this announced. I can't exactly remember where. It might have been the Game Awards we saw this. Um, I know everybody was like, "That's not gameplay. That's definitely not like a thing."
yeah, yeah,
And then it's come out again, and everybody's like, "Oh, okay, cool. This is it's definitely it's toned down a bit, but they've
massively,
kind of
yeah,
maintained like that. They've kind of maintained that combat." And I haven't looked at previews, but I think the sentiment is fairly positive around it. You know what? I'd give it a go. Once
yeah.
again, wait to see what people say. Not necessarily my type of game, but does look very interesting. And if they can nail the combat, if they can make you feel like a badass with the combat and
Yeah,
make that more fluid and smooth,
I think that'll
I'll
be
be
one of
there
the
for it.
biggest. Uh,
Uh,
oh, bloody hell, that'll be one of the biggest things that keep it going. Is if that
yeah,
if that combat is fluid, again, like you say, it makes you feel good, makes you feel like a god walking through men. Then yeah,
exactly. Azura's Wrath style. You're just like
yeah,
going at it. Yeah. So overall, that was a summer showcase that rounded it up. I know that a lot of people have given Jeff and this showcase slack.
a lot of
Maybe,
people.
yeah. I really, I
I
did like I
liked it.
said.
I thought it was really good. I think it was. I think what a lot of people are expecting is just those AAA hyped games, when this was more of just of a let's see how games are doing, let's see how everything is, and giving smaller indie AA companies and games a bit more of a highlight, and that's what I want because at the end of the day, I feel like those are the type of games that have the most love and care put into them, and even if you feel like they haven't, as I keep saying, scratch that itch for you within them trailers. Maybe you do see a bit of a gameplay. Maybe you do see a YouTuber playing it. Maybe you see one of us playing it, and you think, "Oh, that actually looks quite good. I'll give it a go." Because they always end up being that. Don't you agree?
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's a really cool. I enjoyed it. Like I say, I would give the showcase as a whole like a. I'd give it a solid like 7
I was
out
just
of
about to say
10.
7 or 8 out of
Um,
10. I think for me because it
yeah,
I
it
enjoyed
scratched
it.
that itch. It's worth noting that like a lot of the games shown in this are my type of games, so
Of course,
that's
that always does
probably
help. Yeah, yeah.
that
If they
that
were
does
all
that is the thing.
Star Rail, then maybe not. But
Yeah, but overall, yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I think it's a really cool showcase, and good job, Jeff.
yeah, yeah, for
Yeah,
keeping essentially E3 alive.
keeping E3 alive. Don't let me hear you say it, but
The
yeah, awesome. So we will now move on to our last showcase, the big boy. Some would
big
say
one. The big one.
the big one. So yeah, moving on to the last showcase, which is the Xbox showcase. Had a lot of games, a lot of games.
This is
Um,
honestly it's the highlight of this
It
whole
is it
thing.
is the highlight of Summer Games Fest, in my opinion.
Mm.
Spoiler alert. So we start the showcase off with a trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Obviously, at the end of the showcase, they had Call of Duty Direct, and the trailer was Call of Duty.
Yeah,
It looks cool.
it looks
It's
cool. looks
We'll get
almost,
into it
yeah. When
on
it's
the
actually,
direct,
yeah,
but yeah, promising. I never played Cold War, so for me it's very much a case of like I always liked the look of it. I just couldn't justify the larger install size.
mm,
But even though this is going to have a large install size, it's also on Game Pass. So I'm like, well,
yeah, yeah.
might as well. But really, what kicked off the show was Doom: The Dark Ages,
Doom: The Dark
and
Ages. I'm
oh
sorry,
my
but
goodness,
when it was
that's
started
at day
showing,
one.
did the whole world premiere, Bethesda presents, and I'm like, okay, cool, cool.
It's just
And it came up with a text of like, before he became a hero, he was a super weapon of gods and kings. And I was like, okay, where's this going?
yeah,
I wasn't expecting Doom. I can't lie, I wasn't expecting it. And even seeing the other clips where it's like all the sort of mystical, fanciful towns being destroyed, things flying through the air, I'm still thinking, okay, is this a new IP or something like that? And then you
yeah,
just see you see the Doom guy, you see
yeah.
the armor, you see the shotgun, you're like, okay.
That you got the chainsaw shield,
Oh
which,
my
fun
god.
fact, has already been modded into the original Doom.
That is it.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's already been
brilliant.
modded into the original Doom. Incredible. Yeah, I mean, it looks amazing, right? I think Doom is one of them games. As soon as I watched this, I immediately reinstalled the original Doom, not
Yes.
original, like Doom 2016.
Yes.
Um, just because I was like, I need my fix of that type of game again. Such a pleasant surprise, and it's cool. That'll be out in 2025, I reckon.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, well, I just sent an article here from The Verge. Doom: The Dark Ages is launching in 2025. So yeah, I mean, just incredible.
Incredible. Can't wait.
Just
Can't wait.
truly something else. Really, really excited for it. That's a day one.
100%.
Um, Following up, we then had State of Decay 3.
State of
That's
Decay
right, it's
3.
not dead, is the tagline for that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, coming 2025. Yeah. So State of Decay 3. Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I
super excited for it. So I bashed the hell out of State of Decay 2.
yeah,
No idea why. Um, Friend of mine just messaged and was like, "Do you want to play a zombie game?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." We looked through. We had State of Decay. We just started playing it, and just for some reason, it was like one of those Minecraft phases. You know, like once a month or once every 2 months, you have like a week or 2 weeks Minecraft phase. That's what
yeah,
it felt like. Every other month, we're just playing State of Decay 2 for like 2 weeks straight, solid, nothing else. So here in the third one, and it looks good. The trailer, I'm so confused. This is where like graphics just sort of baffle me now. I can't tell because there are elements in it that looks like it's gameplay, but is it just CGI trailer that looks like gameplay, or is
no.
it
So,
actual
so that is
gameplay?
gameplay. That
Oh
is
my
gameplay.
god!
So yeah,
Then
yeah, that is gameplay.
can't wait.
It's yeah. I've played State of Decay 2. I enjoyed it. It's kind of one of them things where State of Decay 2 for me was like a really good double A game that I kind of wish had that triple A stuff. And this State of Decay 3 seems like it has that opportunity to really bring it up to that triple A standard.
Yeah,
You know?
100%.
Really excited for it. Can't, excited for State of Decay 3. When it will come out, I reckon we're looking at 2026
Yeah,
minimum.
that's what I'm thinking too.
This does
Considering
not
what
look.
the trailer was like, yeah.
Yeah. So moving on, we then got Dragon Age: The Veilguard, which was renamed from Dragon Age Dreadwolf.
Okay.
Have you played much Dragon Age?
Can't say I have at all. No, it looked fun though.
No.
The trailer really gave me like, okay, I like fantasy. Um, it's funny. It was giving a Suicide Squad
Yeah. So
2016 vibe.
yeah, great. That's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So a lot of people complained about the kind of feel of the trailer because I haven't played the original Dragon Age, but I've heard
Is it a bit
that
of a tonal shift?
massively it appears
Gotcha.
quite a huge tonal shift. They showed gameplay. Now, I personally can't say it's my type of game from what I've seen of the
Mm,
gameplay. However, it would be one that I wouldn't mind checking out as and when I'm able to get kind of my hands on with it. It's
Yeah,
meant to be coming out in 2024. I don't know if it actually got a release date. Um,
don't believe it did. No,
I know it didn't get one at the end of the trailer. It's just got a full 2024 release
gotcha.
window.
That sort of screams to me that
So
it could be
delayed.
potential. Yeah, 2025.
Yeah. Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me. We'll we'll have to wait and see. So following Dragon Age, we got Starfield Shattered Space expansion.
Now you'll have to tell
Um,
me what you think about it because I've not played Starfield at all. I've obviously been uh, brainwashed by all the haters, um, even though I haven't played the game. So you have to tell me, what do you think of this? What do you think of the DLC?
it's I fell off Starfield hard.
Right.
Um, and yeah, it's kind of one of them things. I know that there was a bit of controversy around you can now pay for a quest on the community tab because they added like the kind of modding section. But I think
Yeah.
you could pay for a quest via Bethesda potentially.
Okay.
Um, People weren't very happy about that.
Mm.
I don't know massively about it, so I can't comment on it. I'll have to look into it. The Shattered Space thing, it looks cool. It's
Yeah, it looks cool.
yeah, it's fine. I personally will jump back into Starfield in like 2026 when like everything's come out and it's like you have like the big new oh look you can drive about and do stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
Starfield does not interest me at the moment because it is not a game which is at its fullest.
No,
It's kind of
it's
like a game
unfortunately.
which
I feel
came
like
out.
it's definitely going to go the route of. Well, I hope it goes the route of No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like that. I have a feeling that like the thing is like it's a whole other conversation around how Bethesda as a company seems like a diminishing returns thing.
Mm,
It's
I feel
kind of
that.
that thing of like we look back at Skyrim and we're like, oh my God, that was incredible, and then every subsequent release since then has been like
Well, it's not as good as
progressively.
Skyrim.
Yeah, it's like it's and that's the problem. You make like this incredible game, and you're not always going to follow that up. But I think Starfield was this game which promised so much, and in my opinion, it delivered on some things, but on other things, it's just like what were we thinking here, right? You know, like if you play Skyrim, I played Skyrim for the first time probably about like properly for the first time probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Um, Probably about a year and a half ago because I was playing it to the lead up to Starfield. And one of the things that struck me with that world was that everything, the emergent gameplay that would happen in
Yeah.
it. You know, you'd be running, you'd see, I don't know, an ogre fighting with some bandits or
I think the
whatever.
difference is as well is that we don't know what space is like, so we have to really make it up. With Skyrim and things like that, you have an understanding of what the real world can be like. You know, the fun interactions with people. It's the same with Fallout, and even Fallout's going to be a game that's going to be abandoned, but you still feel like it's lived in.
Yeah,
And that is because it is we live on this earth, so we know what things are like. Even made up
I think,
fantasy stuff, you can put things in, but as it's space and it's so vast and open, it does just feel dead.
well, yeah, I think this is the thing. For me, it's a case of I don't like. I think this could have been like Sky because the reason Skyrim's incredible is because of how emergent everything feels. The quests feel more unique. The rewards feel more tangible. That's a whole other thing. I hate the fact that it's all like there doesn't feel as unique reward. Remember in Skyrim where you'd like follow a quest chain and get like a demonic mace?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
You
get
know,
that.
like
What was it? What
like
was the thing where it's like you pick it up and
what
it's
was
like,
that?
what was the thing? You have touched the beacon. It's like, oh fuck.
But you'd have these incredible like nuanced stories and quests that would go on. And it was genuinely like, oh wow. And Starfield I really wanted that to be, but the problem is we went for the um an ocean wide and paper thin, right? It's that thing of like there's 1,000 planets
Good song. You should
and
listen
there's
to
the
it.
same base on see. There's 1,000 planets and there's British Blue Sky.
Plugging it
There's
in.
nothing yeah, I know, right? There's 1,000 planets, but yet there is like barely anything on it,
Yeah.
right? it's kind of that thing of like it's the same base. And what made that worse is you didn't give us a vehicle to go in. And now the DLC is like, oh, you will get vehicles or a vehicle.
Yeah,
Great. I don't
yeah,
want to play this game until that has arrived. I think there was a whole load of other stuff where it's like you can land anywhere and it's a whole planet to explore, except the planets are in sectors and squad and like little kind of squares that are generated. No, look, that's cool. That's fine. But the advertising of the game needed to temper expectations for that. And yes, part of it was people going, "Oh my goodness, like we're going to be able to explore a whole planet." But I think it's that thing of like there are just so many it's death by a thousand paper cuts, right?
yeah,
For
yeah. It
Starfield
was
for me.
just. I
That's
think
what
it
it
was
was.
just.
There's no
Yeah,
one
just
thing
too
I'm like,
much
"Oh,
of an of a. Hold on, I'm moving. Fuck me. There we go. Yeah, it was just too much of like a just high expectations for what it is, and I think unfortunately it's fell into that realm of gaming where it's like in 5 years' time, with all the updates it will get, that should have been the game that you released, not
yeah."
what it originally was. Yeah, so I mean, I'm excited. I'll be excited for Starfield players for this DLC, but yeah, meh.
Yeah. No, same here. Next up, Fallout 76. Okay, next up, no.
Yeah,
So,
same thing.
so yeah, no, I mean, I haven't jumped into Fallout 76 since it released,
Mm.
really, maybe a year or two after.
Got a painful voice crack there.
Um,
Jesus, talking about that. Mm.
Skyline Valley seems cool. I'm tempted to jump back into 76. I really am. I'm tempted to give it a go. It's cool that you can play as a ghoul. I feel like that was probably a hasty addition after the show. I reckon we went, look at the popularity of the show.
Yeah, yeah, I can
Play
see
as a
that.
ghoul.
I can see that.
Because we don't have the Fallout 3 remaster ready. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
I was actually quite
So
shocked that none of that was shown. When I saw the Fallout Vault logo, I was like, "Oh shit, are they doing it?" And no, it's just a DLC for 76. But
yeah,
hey,
I reckon that's next year.
yeah,
Yeah. But no, I mean, look, it's cool. Adds a whole new bit of the map. I think my problem with Fallout 76 as a whole still stands in the sense that like it doesn't the essence of Fallout is very hard to capture in a multiplayer setting because you are limited by other people, right? So like you can have quests, the world might feel like Fallout, but the actual nuances and intricacies of quests and things actually having an impact are very hard to come across when there's loads of other people playing.
yeah.
Yeah. So moving on. Now how much is it Claire Obscure? Is that how you pronounce that?
Clear Obscure. I just got Expedition 33.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
there's a subtitle Claire Obscure. Probably butchered it. Expedition 33. Kind of looks like a Persona combat system with an interesting kind of plot where effectively there's a painter who paints down, and whenever she paints the number, that group of people that age will disappear and die. Cool. Never
yeah,
once again, like I said earlier, never played Persona myself, but as I've played more and more, I've got more into the kind of turn-based style of games. So I'd be up for giving this a go for sure.
yeah. I
Was this
mean,
was this
it's
the
a.
day one on Game Pass?
Believe yes.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
yeah. I mean, again, it's one of those games. I think it's just not, as you said, not my cup of tea. It's not one initially I would go for, but see how it goes, and maybe it could intrigue me when it's
Yeah.
actually out. Yeah.
No, for sure. So following on from that, we then had South of Midnight. Now this shocked me. I did not expect to see this here.
Uh huh.
I was not expecting South of Midnight. Um, I love the art style. I love the vibe of it.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
It's.
from We Happy Few developer, um,
Mm-hmm.
which cool, you
Yeah.
know, Compulsion Games. I feel like you know, they could really knock this one out the park. It's a gameplay demo. It's a vertical slice. Does it feel like it needs a bit more time? Yes. Is it due out yet? No. It's a 2025 release. So yeah, I mean,
It's gonna have more to
I'm
it. I
def-
can see this another trailer coming in 6 months. to 8
Yeah.
months, and it looking probably more vibrant, more stuff to it,
Yeah.
a bit cleaner. And again, it's one of those that is, I think the gameplay itself looks rather boring, but just for its
Yeah.
visuals alone and
Yeah. I
potentially its
love the random
storytelling.
cow just appears on like a roof as he's
Yeah.
flying by. Brilliant.
Um,
Um,
yeah, I think that will sway me to at least look into it a lot more before I get it.
yeah, I think this screams developer direct, right?
Yeah.
Screams you get to January, you maybe drop another trailer at Gamescom, potentially Game Awards, but that's probably reserved for some bigger titles. And then January rolls around, we have another developer direct, 4 or 5 games that Xbox really want to highlight for that first and second quarter of the year, and this is you get your 15-minute, 20-minute, hey, this is south of midnight, and it shows more. But I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Next up, we had World of Warcraft: The War Within. Never played World of Warcraft. I'm sure this was exciting for somebody. It done nothing for me.
It done
Cool
nothing for
cinematic.
me. Yeah, I've always loved the look of World of Warcraft. I remember trying to play it because you can play for free. I think for the first like 20 or 30 levels or something like that. It is.
Cool.
Um,
Get you hooked.
yeah, get you hooked
It's like
until you start spending
first
your
one's
money.
free on us.
Yeah. It's how drug dealers work.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, it's always intrigued me World of Warcraft, but I think at the moment I don't think I'm alone in this. Even though I know a lot of things have changed, I think just the name Blizzard still leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I mean,
Am I wrong in
for me,
saying that? Like, I know things have definitely changed. They like, it's not like there's them type of people are still there. I just think it's one of those. It's almost like an end of a breakup. I need time before I think, go back to you.
yeah, I mean, for like, I mainly just World of Warcraft never like interested me that
Interested,
style of
yeah,
game, but it is a cool cinematic, so I
yeah,
enjoyed it. Following on, we had Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. This looks cool.
incredible. No, I think
This
it
looks
looks
really
really,
cool.
really, really good. Um,
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
it.
super excited
Mhm.
for. Did you ever play the original
No,
Snake Eater?
that's the thing. I never did.
Yeah,
I've always like every Metal Gear that's come out. I'm thinking, yeah, this is going to be my gateway. It never has. I'm hoping again. This one might break that cycle. I'm hoping it does.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm excited for it. Like I say, it's tentatively in a 2024 release date, but we have yet obviously 6 months left of the year, but we um we have yet to have a solid release date confirmed. Um, we thought that it was leaked via GameStop for November 17th, but apparently that is not going ahead. We'll have to wait and see if it does get that release. Then they could just be backtracking. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited because it's expected to have more modern controls. The main thing that limited me with Snake Eater and all the like previous Metal Gears have been the control style. I have them on
yeah,
my Vita for if I'm ever traveling on a plane or stuff like that to kind of jump in and really force yourself to get into. Right, you're in a confined space. You're like, well,
yeah,
might as well.
yeah,
Why learn a productive skill when I can play a game?
yeah.
But it is that thing, right? Of this just looks right up my alley. This
Mm-hmm.
looks so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like they're adding new elements to it as well. Him walking along the beam, I don't remember that. I don't remember him being able to climb, so possibly adding something like that.
Yeah, do
Really
it,
cool.
do it. Keep adding more stuff.
Yeah. So following on, we then had Sea of Thieves. That's
it
probably more your realm because for me,
is.
I've
It is.
touched Sea of
So,
Thieves since it launched.
see if we could cut this down if I can. But a bit of a long-winded story. I've got a love-hate relationship with Sea of Thieves right now.
Okay.
Now, I absolutely adored this game when it came out. Even when it was empty and there's nothing to do, I adored it.
Right.
I love the whole pirates doing your thing. The story that they came up with, the ongoing story, that the world-changing story. So as you played this live service game, stuff happened and it changed the world that you're in. So it affects how you play as well. Love all that. But I was a bit of a naughty boy, and when they introduced shipping your ship's names,
Okay.
I did come up with a very naughty one, and I was punished, rightly so. um,
Right.
and yeah, because of that, I then could no longer name my ships. So then that's just let me go, like, it's made me sort of, oh, I don't want to play the game no more. Still,
I
phenomenal game. I think seeing this DLC is what I think a lot of people have been waiting for.
yeah.
It's one of those things that's been teased for God knows how many years, with Flameheart coming back, main villain, and the fact that you get to pilot his own ship. You can be the bad guy. I think that's incredible. I don't think a lot of games do that, where it's a live service game where you can choose to be the bad person,
Yeah.
or at least, I feel like in some games it's like you can choose to be the bad one, but there's always time to redeem yourself. No, this one is like you are bad. You're a bad pirate. Yeah, love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I've always loved Sea of Thieves. The art style is just phenomenal. Um, yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah. That sounds cool. Yeah. I'll probably jump back in season 27.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Following that, we had Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. Now, this is interesting because this was revealed 2 years ago, um, and was due out, I believe, 2023. Heard nothing. It's then re-emerged, and it's out next month, July 18th.
It's pretty mad that.
I really like the look of this. I think
Yeah,
this looks like a fun double A, 7 out of a 10, 8 out of 10 maybe game. Souls Light, it literally quoted as saying God slaying action for the gameplay.
yeah.
Count me in. I'll give it a go.
Good fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely will give it a go. Following that, we had Age of Mythology Retold. Not a huge strategy top-down person, but
No, not my cup of tea. Visually,
it's
again,
on Game
interesting.
Pass.
It's
It's
on Game
there. I'll
Pass.
play it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those games where if it's not your type of thing, the fact that it's on Game Pass, just give it a go. See if you enjoy
Yeah,
it. If not, uninstall it. Play another game.
exactly.
That's my thoughts.
Now, big one, big one.
Mm-hmm.
Be a shock. Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark.
Wow.
Perfect Dark.
Now, was it you I was talking to who didn't know that this was an established franchise?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this makes me wonder. The fact that you didn't know that this was a established franchise and you're quite into games, how many people know what Perfect Dark is? Because like Perfect Dark is, for those of you who don't know, Perfect Dark was made by Rare. Rare also made GoldenEye as a follow-up to GoldenEye that basically improved on it in the majority of ways, right? It was Rare going, we want to make another Bond game, but we don't want to tie it to Bond, and so made Joanna Dark. Incredible game. This gameplay demo looked insane. This looked
It
like a
looked
mix of Mirror's
incredible.
Edge
Yeah. I was
and
thinking Mirror's Edge and
like
just first
yeah,
person shooter. Like it's that
yeah.
perfect
I
combo
mean,
between the two. Yeah.
yeah, it looked incredible to me. I absolutely love how just the combat looked
Mm-hmm.
visceral. It looked cool.
Fluid.
I am fluid. I am excited. Obviously, it's a vertical slice. I'm well aware of that. But it is that thing of like, okay, Perfect Dark, you've got me back. Because for those of you who don't know, this was announced way back in, I believe, 2020,
Yes.
and
No.
then went dark
I've
for,
heard recently that this is quite a long awaited game.
yeah,
Um.
oh, massively.
Yeah. And yeah, me not know. I think a lot of people do know quite well about Perfect Dark. Um,
Yeah,
like the previous
I mean,
what you mentioned with it being the successor to GoldenEye and things like that. It was just quite a nice, pleasant surprise for me when I first saw it. I was like, God damn, no, that's good.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's it's incredible, right? It's something which I have been waiting to see, hoping that it hasn't died and to see it just come out. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Could adjust myself while you're doing that. Oh my god. My back. My pussy and my crack. We'll leave that in.
I am back. I am back.
Hello.
There we go. Just banging on the door. Wonderful. What was I saying before there was a bang? Do
Perfect
we
Dark.
remember? Perfect dark.
Hmm.
Perfect dark. We're
Perfect
gonna
Dark.
cut. And it will say perfect dark, and it will be like there's never been a cut
Never been a
and
cut
nothing
ever.
happened in between.
No?
And it's fine. We're here.
Yeah,
Don't
we're
worry.
fine.
So, so yeah, super excited for it. Very, very just interested to see what this game turns out to be like. I reckon it's the 2026 one for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
They'll be putting their time and effort into this.
yeah, well, we've already got 4 years in, right?
Yeah, well, I think every time they get, they'll keep it.
Yeah. So next up, we had a cinematic trailer for Diablo 4: Vessel of Hatred. Haven't played Diablo 4 yet. Did have it installed, then uninstalled it. Probably will play it at some point, but cool trailer. Really like gnarly visuals and the girl
Oh
getting ripped
yeah,
apart.
yeah. The trailer itself, like, phenomenal. I've never really been a Diablo fan. Um,
No,
Again, I know it's got mass fandom behind it, and yeah, I can easily see just from this trailer, I can tell you can get hyped for this. I mean, I was hyped for it, and I'm like, I don't even like this game.
I don't play it, but this looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. So after Diablo, we then got, interestingly, a trailer for Fable,
For Fable. Yeah.
which I hoped to see but didn't expect to see. Um, and when they showed it, they kind of addressed the main issue of the last trailer, which was, well, that doesn't look like gameplay. And they showed a bit more, still with the creative cuts, but like,
Yeah.
you'll be able to see on
That
screen
this is gameplay.
it's gameplay, it's in engine, it looks really good.
Really good.
Like,
Scarily good, if
really
I'm
good.
honest.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
I
no, just
yeah,
it's really. I've never again. I call myself a gamer. I feel like I'm just. It's a title I haven't deserved. I've not played a Fable game.
how dare you?
I
What's wrong
know,
with you?
I know,
No,
I know, I
they're,
know. I'll just
they're
leave.
fine.
I'll get out of it. Um,
Get out.
yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, it's. I feel like it's everything I want. It's just fantasy. It's funny. It's magic. Everything. It just looks great. I'm super hyped
Yeah,
for it. It's probably one of my most hyped ones from the Xbox showcase. One of. There's several others, but yeah.
yeah. No, super hyped for it. And it's got a, I'm sure it's tentative, but it has a 2025 date on it. No specifics around that, just 2025. So I
Okay.
imagine Fable feels like
I
that's
feel like
going to
that
be.
will be it because from the looks of things, I don't know why. I'm just getting the vibe that I feel like they know that this one is ready.
Yeah,
They're
I
just
mean, I
giving it as
reckon
much time as it needs to really iron out the kinks.
Fable feels like your winter game, don't it?
Yeah,
Like really,
yeah.
Fable feels like that. Okay,
You get that at Christmas.
this is your hit, yeah, your Christmas game.
Yeah,
Following that, we had Fragpunk. We mentioned this bit earlier when we were talking about the PlayStation one. Imagine Concord, but you actually want to play
yeah.
it.
Basically,
No, I mean, look, different strokes for different folks. I really enjoy the idea of the cards that can edit the game. I
yeah.
think that's a
Fantastic
really
idea.
cool idea that mixes up the hero shooter elements quite a bit. Instead of it just being heroes having powers, it encourages teammates to work together. Be interesting to see. I'd love to get a go of it at some point. So yeah, definitely we'll be playing that.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. All them things. It's one of those that is just again catches my eye, visually stunning, and I like new gameplay mechanics. Something that is actually interesting and cool, not just oh we slide a bit different. It's
Yeah.
actually something different completely.
1,000%. So we then had a cute little indie called Winterborough coming in 2025. Um, not my type of game. I'm gonna be honest. Not the type I'd usually play, but love to see, this type of game showing up. You know,
Yeah, I think it's one of those that, again,
somebody's gonna love it, right? Not it
someone's
might
gonna
not be
absolutely
me.
love it, and I think it might be one of those games that I will randomly pick up one day and actually thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah, it's a nice little. Oh,
Mm.
cool. Um, After this, we then had Mixtape. This was an interesting one.
It was interesting. I'd love
Annapurna
to know actually
Interactive.
your
Um,
thoughts on this, because if I'm totally
this
honest, this
gone.
bored me.
So, I never played The Artful Escape. Um, it's from the people who made that.
Hmm.
Um, and for me, it's kind of that thing of like this feels like more of a playable movie, and I think that's what they're
Yeah,
going
yeah, I'm all
right.
for them sort of games.
Um,
Like, I mean, it's not really a fair contrast, but like your Detroit, your
yeah,
all your Telltale
this feels
ones, they I do like them types of games. I absolutely love Telltale games, but
yeah.
for this one, I don't know why. I think it's just because maybe the main characters, they are that sort of teenage um,
Yeah, I think it knows what it
mentality
wants to
that
be, right?
it
Yeah,
does know what it wants to be, but they're that teenage age where I feel like they're bored of people, they're bored of like adults and stuff talking down at them and probably judging them and things like that. And because they're bored, I'm bored. I don't know if that's just me. I'm like,
yeah. I
I
mean,
didn't get anything from this, if I'm honest.
yeah. I mean, for me personally, it was kind of one of them things where it's on Game Pass, so like it feels like this feels like an experience, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
The way the trailer, it doesn't. I wouldn't even compare it to Detroit or Telltale because they, in themselves, you can call them a game. You look at Detroit, and no matter how interactive, you're still doing stuff. There's QTEs, there's branching paths, there's narrative. This feels like it was designed for you to sit down and play for. I'd probably estimate about 4 to 6 hours max,
Mm,
and then have it like a movie that you come back to every 6 months, 6 months, 2 years, whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
This doesn't feel like a game which you're going to go, oh, the replay value is incredible.
Oh
It
yeah,
feels
yeah. You're
like
not.
an
There's no
experience.
replayability. I don't believe. I could be totally surprised. It could be one of those that
Yeah,
absolutely
just
shock me.
yeah,
But yeah, yeah,
just gauging from this, it doesn't feel like that to me. And it's kind of one of them games where I don't know if it's necessarily for me. This is the beauty of Game Pass, so I'll give it a go when it comes out
yeah.
because it's like, because like, yeah, why not? I do just kind of feel, I feel like it had a very, I don't know, like I'm interested to see what it's doing. I get that. I get this is like a theme, a feel, a tone setter of a
Yeah,
trailer.
yeah,
I know what you want to be. Show me why I should care about why you are that. You
yeah.
know what I
No,
mean?
I
Like,
totally
what are
agree.
you? What are you
Yeah, well, it's a bit like with
contributing?
any other movie that you go see.
Yeah.
You'll see something, it
No.
will deliver a tone that's probably not for you, but unless you watch it or not, you don't know. So I think,
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of those. It didn't catch me at all, but if you play
Yeah.
it, you tell me it's fantastic. Word of
You
mouth, I
might.
think,
Yeah.
is the best way to get that game
Yeah.
being played.
I might check out the Artful Escape as well and see what that's all about. See what
Yeah,
their
yeah.
last
If
game
that's
was.
good, then
Um. Yeah. See a track record.
yeah.
So I'm gonna list off two in a row because I don't think either of us will have much to say. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
No,
It's more flying.
it's more
It's yeah.
flying.
It's there.
It's more
It's there
flying.
on November
This is
19th.
someone's bread and butter, and they love it to bits. And
Yeah.
I'm happy that you got another game. But for me, this is basically just another FIFA. It's the same game, just
Yeah.
number
Additional
3 or
features.
whatever.
I like the fact you can get out and take photos. That's cool. If you
Yeah,
can do that everywhere, that'll be a really nice touch. But that's a tall order. Elder Scrolls Online, Gold Road, could care less. I
yeah.
do not. I do not play Elder Scrolls Online.
No, I've never
It's a
played Elder
very old
Scrolls
game.
Online. It's
Um,
one that's never really. Again, I feel like it ticks all the boxes for me. Fantasy. Um,
I
uh,
tried playing it. It just feels. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's updated. But when I played it, it's like this is a dated game. This is a game that came
yeah,
out
yeah,
however many years ago. I don't even know
yeah.
when the Elder
Makes
Scrolls Online.
makes oh god, Star Wars Old Republic look new.
Yeah, so it came out in 2014, right?
Bloody hell,
Um,
yeah. I mean that's a
but like we're
decade
looking,
ago.
it's
That's 10
almost
years
yeah,
old.
it's like it's almost a decade old. And when I played it, you could feel that it's almost a decade old, right?
Mm.
So moving on from them two, we then have Life is Strange Double Exposure. Now, have you ever played Life is Strange?
I have. I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Um, Again, I feel like it's one of those games that you mentioned that it's an experience. I had fun with it. This one, I think this one's. I'm excited to play this one. I don't know what it is. I think it's that nice sort of mystery element to it. Again,
Yeah.
it feels very it's murder mystery, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
your character has a cool quirk that can travel to either an alternate timeline or alternate universe. Like that. That's fun.
No, I love you. Sorry. You're all right. I love you. Like
Yeah.
we'll do a wonderful cut, and you can say that again.
Don't know what I said. Yeah, no, it's
So, Life is Strange Double Exposure.
double exposure. Yeah, it's one of those games that let's start that again. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I did play the other one, and I had fun with it. Again, it's like what you said with the other with mixtape. It's a bit of an experience more than anything.
Yeah.
Um, but this one, it really like got me excited for it. I like the idea of it being a murder mystery. Um, I feel like there should be more games that are like that are sort of a bit more stylized, a bit more um, game worthy, really. And the fact that your character has a fun little quirk that can, either travel in time or go to a different dimension.
Yeah.
Brilliant, love it. Give me
No,
more.
I think I played a bit of Life is Strange, the original. Uh, these type of games are kind of like hit and miss for me. Um, they really have to give me a story that like
Grabs you.
makes me
Yeah,
want to figure it out. I don't know if this one's done that for me yet. It's not a criticism of the story. It's just my personal taste of like, okay, this is neat. But also these types of games really have I have a hard time gripping onto. The last one I really touched was As Dusk Falls, and
yes,
that
yes.
I really enjoyed. Um, but it kind of like it is that thing of I think they're great to play with people.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
As Dusk
I
Falls
can
does
see
multiplayer.
probably yourself and I playing that game.
Yeah, exactly.
Than probably
It's
just me
just
on my own.
yeah, it's definitely like that party game atmosphere.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall interested.
No, this
But
one.
following on
This
from
one.
that, we had Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This
All
has
right.
yeah,
I am
fire.
getting more and more excited for this game. The more I see.
Okay,
Like
okay, cool.
I don't know if it's just nostalgia for Indiana and whenever they chuck it in the trailer of da 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 da, it does something to me that makes me go, yeah, yeah, go on then. Like I know it's this first person sort of puzzle solver with a bit of action thrown in. Um, but yeah, just to have a true
Indiana
blood
Jones game.
Indiana Jones game.
Yeah. Well, another one since
Another
whenever the
one.
last
Oh
one.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
a
yeah,
good
yeah.
one.
A good
Hopefully.
one. A good one.
Um, yeah. I mean, look, I can't wait for this. Trust me. I want this to be good, and I really want to be sold on it, but I'm not quite yet. And
Mm,
there's a couple of reasons. First off, where's the release date?
very
we-
true.
we're launching in 2024. We have 6 months left. This was your big showcase. It feels like we'd want to line up like games, and another game comes soon after this, which does the same thing. But besides from that, the thing that struck me is the trailer they decided to showcase was just a cutscene.
Yes.
Like it was really, it was just a cutscene, and I'm still left with this feeling in my mouth of like this taste in my mouth of like
Is the
I
gameplay shit?
what yeah like what it's kind of like what's your elevator pitch? Like why aren't you showing me? And I know there's been snippets like oh we've got combat, but what does a gameplay loop in Indiana Jones feel like? You know, I
Yeah,
know this is a
yeah. What does
really
it
extreme
actually feel like
example.
playing the game rather than just because it's
Yeah,
again what's getting me excited is I'm almost just watching another Indiana Jones. Like,
yeah. Well, that's it. Like, what? Don't get me wrong, love it. Troy Baker nailing the Indiana Jones,
yeah,
nailing
do
the
it really
Harrison
well.
Ford.
Do it really well.
Um, the whole vibe, the way that the essence of it, it worked. I did feel it was a bit slow. There's an uncanny valley to it. Not as bad, but there's that same Silent Hill thing where it's like I can't put my finger on what I'm not liking here,
Of course,
but
yeah.
something feels like it needs a little bit more
I think it's one of those games
polish.
because because Harrison Ford is such a well-known person. His face, you recognize his face. You know, you can be anyone. You can be an
Yeah,
indigenous tribe in the middle of the Amazon, and you know, I feel like they were like, yeah, that's Harrison Ford. You know,
yeah,
you will know. So having that put into a game model, I think that's always going to deliver that uncanny valley because you've seen it enough. When you
yeah.
do get
See,
other actors that play characters in games who probably
I
well
think
that aren't as well known,
yeah.
you because you haven't seen their face enough, you don't feel
See,
that uncanny valley. Am I wrong in saying
no,
that?
no. I think for me, what it is more like when you watch the gameplay demo. There's just little things like the way the box moves incredibly slow. That everything's
Mm,
falling down, and like you're and and I know that sounds like a silly nitpick, but it's little things where like, and I feel like it's probably because I don't know what the gameplay is, right?
yeah,
Take
yeah,
Star Wars Outlaws, right, as just an example. The Ubisoft Forward, we see a gameplay demo. It's like, or even the first gameplay. It's like, hey, this is what you do. You go on a mission. It's kind of split up. You get a bounty. You get in your ship. You fly to a planet. You land. You do blah 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 blah. And it shows me, okay, that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 20, 30, 40 hours when playing this game. Indiana Jones, I have seen snippets. I have seen like, here's a bit of combat. Here's a bit of puzzle solving. Here's you, climbing something and swimming
yeah,
across something. And I'm
yeah.
like,
But it's
okay,
always something in motion.
show
I
me,
almost want to see
sh-
something where it's just
show me how,
stagnant.
yeah, show me how it merges together. Because my concern is that we'll have an amazing Indiana Jones film with minimal gameplay in between. And my concern is that you've shown me now pretty much
Yeah,
twice
I almost
snippets
it's
of
probably because
gameplay.
they haven't even explained what type of game it is. I'm saying it's a puzzle solving game with a bit of action, but I don't
Yeah,
actually know. Like, it hasn't actually got a title like an FPS. Is it a Detroit Telltale type game where it is majority cutscenes and you just intervene every now and then, or is it
yeah.
a fully open world game where you have to travel through different parts of the world to find to solve puzzles in these obscure areas to I don't know unravel what the Great Circle is.
Yeah, I mean, like looking at reading from the Indiana Jones Bethesda website. Live the adventure is Indy's thrilling story, full of exploration, immersive action, and intriguing puzzles. As a brilliant archaeologist, famed for his keen intellect, etc., so on and so forth. You will travel the world and race against enemy forces to discover the secrets of one of the greatest mysteries of all time. Cool. So what I read from that is that like right, okay, we have a game with a mix of it's an action adventure, right?
Yeah,
Okay, puzzles, there's some combat. The reason I have faith is because of the fact that it is made by Machine Games, who made the Wolfenstein games, incredible games. It's executive produced by Todd Howard. Now, I know he's not great, but executive producing is basically just funneling money into it, right?
yeah, basically.
Um, I'm excited to see it. It's described as a first-person single-player adventure on the website. I just hope that there is another trailer or another gameplay showcase that actually showcase. Give me a 10-minute demo. I feel like if I had a 10-minute demo where I could sit down and they go, "This is what you're doing." It's like beat to beat to beat. If it's like one of the old Bond games, all right, you do a bit of this, then there's a vehicle section, vehicle level, then there's a puzzle level, then there's da 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 da
Yeah,
da,
yeah,
point A, point B. But at the moment, what makes me trepidatious is this is your big showcase. This is
yeah,
your like,
yeah.
this is what this game is,
And
and
this
you're
is one of
showing
your
me a
most
trailer.
anticipated games. Like, come on.
Yeah, and it's like, I definitely like, I'm excited. I don't want this to come off negatively. Like this game looks awesome
I
from
think,
the gameplay I've seen. It looks great. I'm just
yeah, it's that like
trepidatious about.
you're worried. You're almost like because you're so excited for it, you're almost
Yeah,
worried for it.
yeah. I
Yeah,
kind of I think I want to see a bit more, but I'm reserving judgment.
yeah,
I
of
want
course.
to see a bit more before I go. Oh, I mean, I'll play it day one. Day one, why? On Game Pass, of course.
Yeah,
But it's that thing of please don't disappoint me. The other thing is as well, I wonder how machine games will handle more hand-to-hand combat, right?
yeah, yeah. Because
It
it will.
looks cool, but like even the punches kind of when you look at the trailer, it almost feels like they're not
It feels arcadey,
connecting
doesn't it?
properly.
It
It
feels
it
arcadey.
looks like the films,
Yeah.
which is good and bad. So we'll see. Uh, anyway, following on from that, we had Mecha Break, which I believe talked about a
We
little
yeah,
bit
we've already
earlier.
spoken about that. Again, if you just want
Same
to
thoughts.
real quick,
It's
same thoughts. Looks fun.
yeah, it looks
Yeah.
fun, and it's Gundam, but not Gundam.
Yes.
Uh, Following on from that, we had Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. I hadn't heard of this before. I don't know if this was a new announcement. It looks cool. I feel like a lot of it's kind of like that Souls likey
Yes. Fighting giant.
Sekiro FromSoft feeling title.
Yeah.
Probably tickles the fancy of some people. For me, it's kind of like it's on Game Pass. If I've got some spare time, I might give it a go, download it, but I'm not clamoring to try it.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
So
I think. Yeah. I feel the same. It
yeah, I was just gonna
intrigues
say
me a little bit about um you're fighting monsters, but you are also one. It's just it's handy that you're quite a beautiful woman-looking one rather than a hideous,
hideous
grotesque
looking
monster of a
creature.
creature. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, again, it's one of those I think I'd like to see more of,
yeah,
and then develop an opinion of that later. Yeah.
definitely. So following on, we then had Avowed. Now, here's another one where we didn't get a release date. We just got 2024 again. These are two of your biggest tentpole titles, and we just got 2024. Now, look, the going rumor is that Avowed is set to drop in November 2024 and Indiana Jones is set to drop in December 2024. That seems like that would make sense to me. You have a November, December drop. I feel like the reason we probably didn't get a date is because they're just tossing up which should come first. Um,
Possibly. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
seeing that.
I think the
Also, you
November
can,
December one would make sense. Avowed being
yeah,
November, and then yeah,
indie seems like your ender of a year. You're kind of
yeah,
like
100%. Yeah,
Christmas one.
yeah.
You can line it up with Game Awards as well, where you have maybe you get Harrison Ford and Troy Baker on a stage and just kind of get
Good
chatting.
luck
And,
getting
oh
him, man.
look,
Yeah,
it's finally out and stuff like that.
that'd be amazing
Look,
if they do.
yeah, I'd love it. Now, Avowed, they actually done a deep dive on the Xbox YouTube channel where they showed a bit more gameplay. They showed what it was like. This looks fun. I trust it because it's Obsidian. I just don't know if I will necessarily vibe with it. I feel like it will be a game which I will vibe with when I'm in the mood. I
Yeah,
have to
no,
be in that.
I agree with that. It just feels. I
It's
don't know.
set in the universe of Pillars of Eternity, I believe.
Okay. It doesn't really mean much to me, but
Yeah.
it just feels. I'm getting that. When I talk about how games all feel the same, I'm just getting that same feeling again with this one. it just feels like there's another game that I probably have played that just feels exactly the same. I know they're all, it's going to be really hard to think of something very new and things like that. But as we've seen through this showcase, like, there are ones out there that are similar to other things that are just phenomenal looking, and
Yeah, I feel like
with this one I didn't get any of that.
yeah, I feel like it really is to me just kind of I would definitely play it. I like Obsidian. I love Fallout New Vegas. Wasn't a bigger fan as the Outer Wilds. Outer Worlds, sorry. Outer Wilds is great. Outer Worlds, but I
That's
still
the one,
enjoyed
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Avowed is kind of for me like okay, this is
yeah,
probably
yeah,
it's not in a derivative way, but
yeah.
like what if Obsidian done Skyrim? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. That
all
I
right,
was
cool.
about to say, it does just feel like I'm playing as a mage in
And so
Skyrim.
I do appreciate the fact that they do first and third person though. That's a nice touch.
Hold on one
So
second. Oh, fuck me! It's just my line of coke I'm doing right now.
that's all right. You gotta get buzzed for this next
Yeah,
next
yeah,
few.
yeah. Right, right. Back at
Right.
it.
So after Avowed, we then got a trailer for a game called Atomfall. I
Right.
did think this was Atomic Heart.
I,
Straight up. It was
I,
just like
yeah, yeah.
I
So
was like, huh.
I want to got a theory.
Yep.
I'm totally wrong here, but I think it's worth mentioning. Atomfall. It looks awfully like post-apocalyptic, you know, old sort of timey post-apocalyptic world, right? Set
Yep.
in what I do believe is England.
It is Great Britain, I can
Yep.
confirm.
Um, do you think that one of the reasons why they probably fucked over the guys who was modding Fallout 4, Fallout London, and didn't care is because a game that very similar, which is now Atomfall, was being released?
That's a very interesting
Because
theory.
I feel like it's very similar, very post-apocalyptic esque, based in England.
Yeah, I mean, to
Do
be
you think,
honest,
well, there's a level of lie that they probably didn't care? Because I got a feeling that there's no way, because that mod was wildly known and so anticipated for,
yeah,
by everyone that played Fallout, and even like myself, before the Fallout TV show and the new craze of Fallout came out, I heard of this and was super fucking jazzed for it.
yeah, I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, and then it just got completely canned over. Maybe that's just the business, and they're not an official part, so they don't care. But I think it's just too much similarities.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of that thing of like, I, I think it's corporate companies having no foresight over fans.
Yeah,
I think it's like I agree that it's probably like a part that's like, well, why would we endorse this third party mod that we're going to make nothing from when we can leave
or
that and do
they thought, oh, that's gonna get a lot of people jazzed and buzzed. Base it in London. Let's make our own game.
yeah, Atomfall. Um,
Atomfall. Yeah,
I mean, look, it looks interesting. I'm interested to see. I like the fact it's set in Britain. I don't feel like we've had many games set in in the land of Great
in
Britain.
the
Where we
land,
are
in
from.
the motherland. Yes. No, I just feel like it's
um,
the ones I can think of is just Assassin's Creed. Really, that's it.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, to me, it's like cool. I know we had Watch Dogs, but but
Oh God, yeah, I
like
forgot about that one.
yeah, so did everybody else.
I even mentioned
No,
it. This
yeah.
podcast I mentioned it. Totally, it's just left my brain immediately.
No, I mean, for me, it's kind of that thing of like, it's a cool game, it's a cool idea. I'll have to see more of it. I prefer Fallout London.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so moving on, we then have. I'm interested to see what you think of this. Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Mm.
What was your thoughts?
I'm
What are
really
your thoughts?
excited for it. I'm really excited for it. There, it's I think a bit of bias because it's just an Assassin's Creed game that we have been begging for years. Um, just one based in Japan. Just
Right.
give me that um, uh, samurai assassin, ninja assassin. Just give it. And they gave us a mobile game, one set in that era, and everyone was like, just collectively, no, I
Yeah.
want a game of this, please. And I don't know whether they were just waiting, whether they had a great idea but not the ability to make it yet, or probably the more likely one is this is our golden goose. Everyone wants this game. We'll wait till Assassin's Creed starts dying, and then we'll be like, right, let's start making the Japanese one because everyone will buy that one. I think that one's more likely than anything else. But I just think it just looks phenomenal. The idea of it it's kind of going back to its old roots of you're just playing a single player game. There's no RPG elements to it that I know of. If there is, it's not going to be as in your face as like Valhalla and Odyssey. But yeah, I think I'm excited for it. I just can't wait. I just want another Assassin's Creed game that is based in that. One that brings me back, because the last one I properly played that I really enjoyed was Black Flag. And that wasn't really Assassin's Creed game. That was a pirate game with assassins chucked in the middle. So yeah, no, I'll be excited
Yeah.
to see. I'll be excited to see what they actually do. And a bit of fuck all the people that just because there's a black character and a female character as your main ones that they then decide not to like it. Like screw you.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, I mean, like,
Do your
you'll always
history.
get like a vocal, fucking. You'll always get a vocal minority of people who are like, I don't want. It's the same with like Outlaws and how they're like, I don't want to play it because it's a female character, and it's like, shut up.
Shut
Like,
up,
look,
mate.
look,
Like,
look.
yeah.
You don't have to play this game if you don't want to. That's fine. That's your prerogative. But like, also when it's like, I get it's an open world Star Wars game, and I'd love one where we can create a character too. But if you have a character if you have a story where it's based around a character, that's fine. You didn't have anybody complaining that we were playing as Cal Kestis,
No.
so why are you complaining that
A
we're playing as
ginger.
Jay
No, I'm
Beck?
joking.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean it's yeah. So away from that though, like my personal opinion on it is, I'm also excited for it. I believe it's the first solely current gen with like Assassin's Creed where we're not putting it on previous hardware.
Yeah.
That to me is really good. That might have already happened. I don't know if you could buy Mirage on PS4. You might have been able to. But either way, it looks like a really, yeah, you could buy it on PS4. So this is going to be the first one that is solely
A
next
next
gen,
gen Assassin's Creed game.
current
Yeah.
current gen, right?
Sorry. Yeah.
For
Current gen.
me,
Jesus.
yeah, well, no. For
Oh,
me,
good old.
it's always hard to distinguish it.
Uh,
For me, it's one of them things where I watched the gameplay demo. I love the look of the two characters. Apparently, it's
yeah.
really brutal. Yeah, you know what? Like, I know Ubisoft gets a lot of flack, but they do have like a pretty good year coming, right? We've got
They do. Yeah.
Assassin's Creed in November 15th. We've got Star Wars Outlaws on August 30th. If they can bat it out the park with both of them, we might
Oh yeah.
we might be
They'll be back on it. I feel like hopefully they will then learn to a degree that this is the just give us a good game. Stop.
yeah, I mean,
Stop.
and stop pricing your games like
Oh, stop
fuck
pricing your
you.
games. Ridiculous
Um,
amounts. We all know about the both them
yeah,
games really, and it's just it's ridiculous.
yeah,
But yeah, like no, I'm excited for it. I'm excited.
yeah. I'm excited for it too. So after that, we then had another trailer for Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl. Really excited for this one. Comes out September 5th. Heard mixed things from previews. Some people saying it doesn't feel ready. Other people saying it's just really hard. I'll wait and see.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
basically it.
Again, I feel like it's one of those games that might just shock me story wise. Uh,
Yeah.
but otherwise, yeah, gameplay just kind of looks basic. I think graphics look okay. I think no, I don't think they look okay. I think they look great. I don't feel like there is much you can improve on there. It just does look a little bit bland.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you say, well, I think we'll see.
Yeah, and then I think, like, yeah, that's my thoughts on Stalker 2. Following that,
Oh,
we got an
oh,
announcement for an Xbox Series X
oh,
and S console that has 2 terabytes now and a 1 terabyte SSD for an all digital Series X.
yeah.
Cool. If you, yeah, I mean that's all good. We also got a hint at like we're working on the next generation of Xbox. Um,
Mhm.
cool. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't even feel like this console generation is really in full swing yet. I mean, I guess when I think about it, like when did PS5 launch? Like
I want to say
that
something
launch
stupid like 2019,
uh so the PS5 launch date was November 2020.
2020. Okay,
So we're only like
we're 4 years
4
in.
years in?
4 years
Four
in.
years
Yeah.
in? Yes, we're only like halfway through the console cycle,
Yeah.
really.
I guess
I feel like
what they'll probably say like they started working on it, which basically means
yeah, I
give it
mean
another
I
five
we
years and they'll be out.
yeah, yeah, we've got
And
the Xbox handheld in between them, which feel
don't
is
do what
feels
you did last time to try and compete with Sony by releasing a half made console.
pretty. I
Actually
mean,
finish it.
do it. You can do it.
You can do it,
But no,
guys.
no. I mean, yeah. That was fine. Now the big one, the
This
one
is this is this shocked me in so many ways. I had so many feelings watching this trailer.
is happiness.
Oh, everything, all emotions went through at once. Really, I think you can probably call me enlightened after watching that trailer. Like
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, we're talking about Gears of War
Gears of War
E
E
Day.
Day, and
Um,
oh my god, I
yeah.
so first seeing it, I see Marcus fighting the Locust, and I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a remake. They're either remaking Gears 1, like a whole new engine, or they're doing Gears 2 because they kind of did a remaster of Gears 1. Are they doing Gears 2? Are they doing Gears 3 even? But I was like, there's something a bit off. Like his face just looks a bit different. It looks a bit different. He looks young. Um, and I still kept feeling that this is a remake. Maybe it's a retelling. You know how they like to reboot their franchises now, just to keep keep that heartbeat going. Um, and yeah, then Dom appeared, and oh mate, hearing that Mad World tune. Did you ever play Gears?
Oh yeah. Like
Yeah,
that original, like the Mad World tune in the background is what really made me go
yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh yeah, like
you know.
it just it hit in the fields, and yeah, and then seeing the Gears of War, the panning up across the city again. I'm still thinking this is a remake, and then seeing that massive E Day smack across the screen.
Oh, and just like honestly, it's just
Oh,
it's the Mad World in the background. For those of you who don't know, I believe it was Gears 2 had the iconic like Mad World trailer
I
where it
think
was
it was
running.
Gears 3, was it not? Because that's when. I mean, spoiler alert. If
Um,
you haven't played this game by now, what you're doing? But minor
was it?
spoilers
No, no, no.
for the Gears franchise.
Oh, it might have been sorry. It might have. I tell a lie. It might have been the original Gears of War.
Was it the original
Um,
original? Because I know in Gears 3, Mad World started playing when Dom died. That was a spoiler.
well, the
Um,
top comment on it is we're all back here after seeing E Day trailer, right? Yeah, it says the original. It was the original Gears of War trailer. Just iconic.
damn.
Um, just Mad World playing. I think the one that I remember uh, potentially is this one. Is it this one? There was one where he's basically running through a city
Yes, yeah, I
and
think
everybody
that
is
was
like,
that Gears one. He's running through the city being chased by the giant. I can't remember what they're called, but the giant spider looking thing. Is it a stalker?
Potentially. That's very loud. That's very loud. Yeah. Either way, really cool, incredible. I
I
can't
can't
wait to
wait.
see it.
No, I can't wait
Happy
at all.
they've gone back to
Yeah, I
um
heard they're
from
also going back to horror element of the game rather than just
yep.
straight up action. Again, just more ticking boxes. Thumbs up for me. Love that. Um, yeah, I just want to go back to the Gears franchise. I really want to know. This is a bit of a tangent. I really want to know if they introduce a Carmine into it. The running
Okay.
joke.
Yeah.
The running joke throughout all the Gears games is that the Carmine family, who are this vast family for some reason, who are all like a military family,
Yeah. Yeah. I know what
um,
you.
and you meet each brother in different games, and they all die a horrible death. Apart from Clayton, who's like the oldest, the fucking beefiest one. We love Clayton. Um,
We stand
he
Clayton.
survives, but yeah, I'd love to know if because there is meant to be. This is going into like a Gears lore video now. Um, there's meant to be another brother who I think didn't join or something like that, or I think is a lot older or something. I think so. So you could meet them. Fuck it, meet the mum. You meet you meet Mama Carmine.
All of them.
All of them together. Love it.
All of them in heaven.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sad.
No. No. I mean, overall, very excited to see what happens with Gears.
Mm.
I reckon this is a 2026, but could be surprised with a late 2025 if they wanted to drop Fable in the summer, and then they felt like
And put this in the
going,
winter, maybe.
yeah, Gears in the
Yeah.
winter. You could even do an avowed and indie job where it's like, okay, you get Gears in October and Fable in December. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw that either.
Yeah. No.
So yeah,
Agree.
and then lastly, to like finish off the showcase, we got the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Direct.
Yes.
What were
So
your thoughts?
my thoughts. I think you know my thoughts. So I've never really been a massive Call of Duty fan. I have been a Halo fan at heart, and back in the day, it was that thing of like you either played one or the other, and if you played that one, you hated the other one. You almost had to. It was almost like an unwritten rule. Um, so yeah, I just never really got into the Call of Duty games. Um, as I've gotten older and realised that that was just a stupid concept, played a few. I remember playing the original Modern Warfare 2. Loved it to bits. I think it's an iconic game now. Um, and I started playing because of that. I then started playing the Modern Warfare remakes, the almost retellings of those ones. Loved the first one that they remade, especially with that going through the houses and almost sweeping it
Clean
out.
House, yeah,
Yeah,
Modern
yeah.
Warfare 2019.
2019. Love that mission. The second one, yeah, it didn't hit as well. And then
No,
we all know
no,
the third one was just a glorified DLC
yeah,
at,
diminishing returns
at a
is
stupid price. Um, yeah, so I've had a mixed bag. But seeing this, it's intrigued me. They're doing things that are, I think, what Call of Duty has been in need of for quite a while, especially with gameplay.
yeah. I think for me it's a case of like if you taper your expectations as to it's a Call of Duty game.
Hmm.
It's going to be Call of Duty. They're not doing anything. They're not changing
Oh god, no, they're
Call of
not adding
Duty,
like
right?
mechs or anything to it.
Um,
Anything stupid. Oh,
no,
who
no,
would add
that's
like an
next year.
exosuit?
Um,
That's really
but
dumb. You'd
like
never do that.
no, but no. I mean, like it's not like groundbreaking, right? You're not gonna be like, oh my goodness. But it's cool quality of life. They seem like they're doing more levels in the single player, like the Embassy one from Cold War, which is awesome.
Hmm.
Despite never playing Cold War, that was the level that I know everybody was like, this is sick. We need more of this. Love that. The omnidirectional movement, great. I can be like Max Payne and dive and shoot people.
Oh
Love
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Once again, for the first time, it's on Game Pass day one,
yeah,
right? So like the other great thing about it is if you don't want to buy Call of Duty for £70, get a Game Pass subscription for a month. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it.
How much is a
Like it's
Game Pass subscription?
Game Pass Ultimate is like 12.99, but they'll probably do one of them things where it's like get the first month for £1, which is like,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I
You know
mean,
what?
looking
I mean,
here,
Xbox don't do
um,
this, but like
yeah,
I'm
CD
really shocked that Game
six
Pass
ninety nine.
is not something stupid like 30 quid a month.
Oh, nobody would buy it.
I know nobody
They
buy it,
know they're
but the
consuming so
amount
much.
of games that you get on there, new and old, I'm just
Yeah,
so shocked. I'm glad. I'm super glad they've done that because I think it just gives you that
I mean,
accessibility. I mean, it's something I'm going to purchase now because just watching this showcase, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna um, buy Game Pass just to get all these games day one.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
those in the know will know that when you get Xbox, you could do a thing. They can't. They've stopped it now, but like, you could do a thing where you would buy years worth of Xbox Gold for dirt cheap. Like I think I bought 3 years for like £100.
right?
Um,
Yes.
and then you'd buy 1 month Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and it would do a ratio of like 1 to 1. So you would get. So I got like 3 years of Xbox Game Pass for
Bloody
like
hell.
£110, and it's like 12.99 a month. So,
Yeah.
so what we take from that, guys, is yeah, definitely.
If you find the deal, go for it.
Yeah, do it.
Do
They
it.
don't do that now. You can't do that now though, so don't do that. But yeah,
No, but if you can find something along those lines, do it because the amount that's on there now, just you wouldn't be
oh
bored again.
no, no, no. It's yeah,
So
it's
go on,
nuts.
tell me
But
what are your thoughts on the Call of Duty then?
yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. Like this will be the one that I jump back into. I can
Mm,
already tell. Like this will be the one that you get me back in. I'll play online. I'll do the thing, right? Um, I I'm not expecting. I'm not expecting a 2019. 2019 for me was like kind of well, it was one in a million. Right? It comes out and it's like
Oh my
great,
god, can I just stop you for a
cool.
second? Gee, I just had a
Yeah.
heart attack. I thought I wasn't recording. Bloody
No.
hell.
You're like, oh
For a
my
split
gosh.
second, I thought, fuck off. But no, it's because I couldn't. So in the corner of my screen, I see like a little tiny green dot when I know I'm recording.
Right.
And I couldn't see it for a second because just I've got a little desk ornament that's obscuring it. So I just had to like, because my chair's so squeaky, I had to silently look over and my heart was going because I was like, I can't see it. There it is. Okay. Right, sorry, continue.
So
Oh.
so basically, yeah, it'll be the one to get me back in. I'm not expecting anything not expecting anything groundbreaking, but I'm excited.
Mm.
I will be playing this day one because why not? Because you can, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. So
Well, that is it.
that
That is the
that
entire
Summer Games Fest
Summer Games
showcase.
Fest.
The only
Damn.
other one to briefly mention would be the Ubisoft forward, but we really mentioned them briefly throughout because they kind of had a
They've sort of
tendency
spread
to
them.
just show.
Yeah, yeah.
They showed off pretty much everything. We got new Outlaws gameplay, which looks amazing. We got Assassin's Creed Shadow, um, and they were really the two notable
The
things
two
which
main
I
ones.
took.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got a teaser for the new Sands of Time, the new old Sands of Time, which
Gotcha.
is coming
Yeah.
in 2026. The one they had to make again because it looked just horrible, like claymation had melted. A new Anon game, X Defiant Season 1, and that was really it. The Division 2 had some stuff. Just Dance VR, if you were interested. Avatar DLC, the Lost Crown DLC, that's cool. Assassin's Creed Mirage was launching for iPhone, which still shocks me to this day. Um,
Wow.
yeah, the Crew DLC for Honor, stuff like that. But yeah, nothing really of note that you'd be like, oh my goodness. They've showed us Splinter Cell because they haven't yet. Why haven't you done that yet, Ubisoft?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What
Well,
is wrong with you?
they'll wait. They'll wait till the last possible minute and then be like,
Or maybe
"Aha!
we get
See, we're still relevant. Trust
maybe we
us."
get Beyond Good and Evil 2. No,
No,
never
no,
happen.
it's not. Don't you dare.
I know, I know. But
But yeah,
yes,
so
that
go on, tell
will.
me real quick, overall
Yeah.
thoughts of the whole thing. How did you feel?
What Summer Games Fest?
Yeah, the whole
I
thing.
thought, you know what? I thought that this was the closest we've come to like similar to E3. I don't think we're
Mm.
at E3 yet. I don't think we're at that level yet, but I think this is the closest we've come. Where I've watched each of the showcases and I've been like, cool. Microsoft Xbox, I think, brought it home. They were the showcase. I was
Oh,
like, this is like an
100%. Yeah,
E3 one. This
100%.
gave me the same feeling as watching E3. The other two still have work to do. Sony, especially. Jeez,
Oh,
Sony.
yeah.
What are we
I
doing?
feel
Do a
like
showcase.
I
Do
feel like
something.
need to talk Sony.
Anyway,
Like, what's going on?
yeah,
Maybe they got this master plan that we have no clue about. We're too dumb
we're
to
too. Yeah.
understand yet.
I
But
mean, they have said that like they've not got any major first party stuff coming until 2020 end of at like physical year 2024. So I think April 2025. So maybe next year they like blow it out of the water. I hope. I hope so. I really do.
yeah,
Yeah. But what were your thoughts? What did you think?
yeah, no, I loved it. I think I agree with what you said about Xbox. Xbox absolutely carrying this year's. Um,
Yeah.
they just know how to present, and they've got because they done the very executive thing by buying all these studios. They've got such a variety of games that all have their own unique thing to them. So you almost like you've got literally something for everyone in those things.
Yeah.
I think the Summer Games Fest showcase one. I think that was a nice, delightful showcase, giving indie developers a bit more of an opportunity to show off their things, and just almost it's almost a platform to get their voices heard for some people like us who are more willing to be like, yeah, that looks cool, we'll give that a go. I know it's not for everyone, but I enjoyed it, and yeah, PlayStation. What? what?
They done a thing.
They did a thing. They joined in at least. They didn't do like what they've done years before, where they just haven't done anything at all. They had something, so there you go. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it.
Nice one. Yeah. So that has been the Downtime podcast. I hope you have enjoyed listening to us ramble on and give you the abridged versions of all of these showcases. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Comment down below. Let us know what you thought of the showcases, what games you're excited for, what you wish you would have seen, what you're happy you saw, and make sure to tune in next time for when we'll be talking about more games next
More
week.
games, more
Week
games, more
after.
games.
Who knows? Spot on.
All right, see you later, guys.
See ya.